What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Almost Never podcast. I'm your co-host, Josh. This week, we're talking about Nikki Haley raising the retirement age to 70, the Barbie Oscar snubs, Vince McMahon and him stepping down from the WWE. We're talking about Lil Boom and DJ Academics. We're talking about your favorite childhood cartoons. What did you like to watch and what were you not allowed to watch? Super Bowl predictions and what do you think is going to happen come February? We're talking about Tristan Thompson and his non-alleged steroid use. Thanks, everybody, for your likes, comments, and subscriptions. You can catch us on all the socials at Almost Never Pod on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You can catch us on Apple and Spotify, all your favorite DSPs. Enjoy the episode.
Because that new song he put out wasn't it.
He was going to come back and then remember, like, Brittany wrote that. And there, he's almost like,
Yeah, but his last album was whack. No one knows.
That's the one where he's wearing the flannel, right? Chopping down trees with Chris Stapleton, wasn't it?
he's trying. He ain't never chopped a tree down in his life. Well, howdy, everybody.
Howdy,
Welcome to
partner.
the Almost Never podcast.
How you there, partner?
I'm your co-host, Josh.
My name's Dangerous Trey.
Is it now?
Dangerous Trey.
Yes, sir.
Is that because you're dangerous?
It's because I'm not dangerous.
It's about
That's
right.
like Lil Jon.
Yep. You never know what's going to happen because he's just so unpredictable.
They call me Sleepy
Call him Sleepy Sean.
because my eyes are rarely open in photos.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. It's a wonderful Saturday afternoon in sunny Los Angeles.
Springtime.
How you guys doing today?
In the park. I'm doing great. Took the train here, public transited all the way.
Public service.
What'd you do on the train?
Play
People
with
watched.
himself?
Held
Yeah.
my belongings really closely because there's a lot of homeless people
Really?
train hopping.
Did you feel threatened?
No.
So you really weren't holding your things closely?
No. All the homeless people, I looked them straight in the eye too. Let them know I was serious.
Serious?
It's like a bear.
Did you have anybody on drugs?
Definitely, there was a dude kicking the seat on the red line.
Oh well, once you go for the metro thing too from Union, then that's a
what I'm
step
saying,
up.
exactly.
Step
yeah.
up.
Yeah, red line. I was on a car with like 5 crackheads.
Nice.
I was right by them. It's cool though. Made it.
Observing in nature.
How you living? How was your week?
This is a week. There was 5 days. 2 of them are still being lived. 1 now, 1 tomorrow.
The week is weaking.
Yeah,
That's
it's springtime now in Southern California
My nose is
after
letting me
our
know
last
that.
week of rain.
Got dander.
Yeah, no, it's just it was a week that flew by. One of those.
What about you, Josh?
Week is pretty chill. Also, my week was a week. I gotta give a shout out to all my Aquarius folk out there. Shout out Casey last week. Casey tomorrow.
Ryan
yeah.
Drivis 2 days ago or yesterday?
Ride Dry.
Damn.
Millicent in a
Andrew.
couple days. Andrew. Michelle. Shout out Michelle. I
Whoa.
saw my old roommates last night. Went to Salty Girl
Taylor?
in Los Angeles. So shout out Taylor like last week. Yeah, it's
There's a lot of birthdays.
a lot of Aquarius out there. That's so they're I think the parents are getting knocked up in the fall in the spring then, right? Around March.
right around the corner.
Parents knocking boots and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's that extra hour of sun.
You're right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
people come out of the hibernation. I mean, yeah, it's not much of a winter in Southern California, but you know how it is.
I did have Mexican sushi this week, and it's delicious.
Explain.
So Sinaloa is a state in northwestern Mexico, and I guess they
Cartel as well.
yeah. I was like, huh? Yeah, I guess they borrowed from like sushi, but the way that they marinate all their fish is like with like
Ceviche?
well, like so one of the rolls I got was aguachile. Dude, it's probably some of the best sushi I've ever
Which
had.
is shrimp, right?
Well, it's just like aguachile is more of like the sauce that you put on of like a ceviche. It's like a fit. The roll had like a shrimp in the middle, but then it also had like tuna on top.
Aguachiles, like you find them in the cocteles, like the shrimp cocktail, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
ceviche, but shrimp cocktail.
Like the aguachile sauce is the green sauce. So if you ever see like a green, like if you ever get like a bowl of ceviche, but it's like more green, that's like the aguachile. Yeah. Although somebody's gonna listen to this and be like, "That fool doesn't know what the fuck he's talking."
Well, yeah,
about.
because you can have I got some homies from us. I forget what part of Mexico they're from, but their aguachiles looks more like it looks more like a chunky ceviche, but like a soup.
No, that's basically like what I'm saying. The cocteles.
Yeah.
It's like they serve in the cup.
Yeah.
I mean the ceviche generally like you're serving in like a cup or a bowl or something.
Yeah, I've seen
has
like that too, but I haven't seen their aguachiles like that.
That's a fancy looking aguachile.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was delicious. Had it twice this week. It was so damn good. That mercado is
So
gonna
nice.
take all of my money.
Is that like a Mariscos or whatever?
Mariscos.
Mariscos? Wait, what?
The place you went to.
The mercado?
Yeah.
That's
no,
like a-
it's like a mercado. It's it's like a giant grocery
Oh, okay,
store
okay.
/ like it has like
It's like a
everything.
food hall, right?
Yeah.
It's like a super Walmart.
Because that's like by
But like if you were in Mexico, it'd be like one of the open. It'd be like a
Open air.
Yeah,
Got
but
it.
you
Well,
have
'cause
like everything. You
That's
could get
by
there.
Northgate Market.
Yeah, it's by
correct? Like,
Northgate.
yeah. I mean,
Shout out
we
Northgate.
used to have a spot. I'd always go to Northgate to get stuff when we lived in
Kind of like the Callejones, but
Yellow
food.
House. Okay.
Santee Alleys. Fashion District, Santee Alley.
Is that in? I don't know that. Where?
Santee Alley's in downtown.
Yeah.
Um,
In the Arts District, Santee Alley.
I guess you could say that. That's
They're the Callejones, the alleys, where
So-
they have like the little outdoor shops that are all like
I get what you mean.
this
don't
is
know,
like self-contained. That's like
Oh, okay.
those are just like vendors
Yeah.
and stuff, like
Okay.
shops.
This is like in the mercado, like with Northgate. It's like a remake of what it would be,
where it was. Okay.
but it's actually all under like a roof. You know?
It's like it's pretty much a food hall, I would say, right?
yeah,
compared to,
So it's like a Grand Central Market, but
kind of, but also with groceries and, like
other stores.
yeah, like so basically anything that you feel like anything that you would get from like a Mexican store, everything's made fresh there.
That's
so
dope.
you have all that, plus then you also have like little restaurants all around and stuff like that, and then they have like you can get like
Churros.
that, but
Chicharrones.
but like you can get like all of the Jesus candles and
course,
Mary candles that you
yeah.
want, all different sizes, shapes, colors.
Devoted.
Yeah, is that what they're called?
It's something else, but I know that's like I think Filipinos. I don't know.
Use them too, yeah.
That's a good question. If there was a dude, so like you live in an apartment complex, and like all hours of the day, the person above you is always making sound, always. Would you think that they're on drugs?
Mm-mm.
At night they're awake. You hear sighing. You hear like
Sighing
the
or sighing?
sighing, like building stuff, like at 2 a.m.
I think that they either have they're some night owl with ADD or yeah, perhaps they're on some sort of like Adderall or
My dude's
The crystal
always
method.
pumped, dude. He's like always. He's super. He's the guy. I don't know if you looked in our Instagram. He was like, "Let me be on your guys' show. I'll come in and like I'll talk." I don't know if you saw that. But anyway,
it's not going to be anymore.
but dude, he's always like pumped, like always with so much energy. And last night he was walking with us to the Mercado, and I was like, I feel like now I'm getting a vibe that this man is on things.
Did he eat anything when he was there?
He was going to get food.
Did he get food?
I don't know. We broke off. We broke.
Separated.
Yeah, it was time to separate.
Forcefully.
That's dope.
Yeah.
No, I would just think that everyone's different. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt since last week.
I'm gonna hold you. We're gonna hold
Turning
that
over a new
statement.
leaf, eh?
We're gonna hold that statement and see where you go.
I said
against
since
it.
last week.
But we're gonna see where
Where I
you
counter.
break it in our
Trying
talk
to give people the
today.
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. You try to. I guess that's the most important piece. You try. Trying is important.
Sometimes you can't though.
You can't try.
It's not. worth
That seems like you don't have a choice. You don't have the luxury of
it.
choice. Then is that what you're
I wasn't
is that what
allowed
you're
the
saying?
luxury of choice.
You go watch any basketball this weekend or this week?
Just my team's pitiful, so
You don't have a team.
What's your
Your
team?
fantasy team.
fantasy.
Oh, you were holding up.
And you just stopped paying attention.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
No, but I did see the 2 70-point games. That's crazy. 2 70-point games this week.
Yeah.
My guy Embiid, that he was my number one pick. He's like you've had him as your pick before. He's a beast, man. He's a beast.
What was
he has like
did
the most
70, 71?
71.
And then Luka did 73.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the same week, Booker did 63. I think this week too.
Last year, yeah.
No, this week Booker did 63.
Oh, did he? I thought that
Yeah.
was 23.
Don't you got book?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's how it shows how much he's paying attention to his fantasy
Yeah, I think
team
you
right
like just totally forgot to put people in the other day, right?
You got
No,
Beal
my
and
season's
Book.
over. I can't come back.
there. Yeah, that's true. You're
Can't
you're
come
kinda
back.
done there.
It's just
Do you
washed.
think that they were trying for Kobe, though, since it was...
Oh, it was the week. It was. Oh, I didn't even think about maybe, but that'd be weird if you actually did do it on the, like if you broke his record on the. He did 80, right? Or 81?
He had was it an 80 or was it a 70 game? No, I think maybe it was an 80-point game. It was a lot. It was
Just got the Mamba
81.
spirit.
81.
Dropped it on the Raptors in
Yeah, so
2006.
I was thinking when I saw that, I was like, dang, because this is the week of...
Yeah.
So who did Philly play when Embiid had that game? I know I should know. I could just check my.
I think they had... I think they lost, though, right?
no, I think they won.
They won.
Luka and them lost, right?
I don't know. That's a kind of
No,
ridiculous.
it was crazy, though. It's I mean, it's got to...
They played the Spurs.
Oh,
but-
It's got to take a lot of...
Weak defense.
Yeah, and a lot of shots to get that many points up for one person. I didn't see either of the games, but that's a cool stat for them to hold. Kudos to both of them.
41 shots.
Yeah. You just have to shoot like everything.
Just shoot. Yeah,
it's
just keep on giving me the ball.
Because I mean, when Kobe hit the 81, it was like every Laker was scared to touch the ball.
Yeah, it's true.
They just threw it to
They
Kobe.
were giving it to Kobe.
They were just giving it
Yeah.
to Kobe. But that's dope, though. Like, so do you think that there's going to be a player that can never get to like the Wilt, like the 100?
I don't think.
I don't think you can.
Wait.
Didn't Wilt do 100? Wilt had a 100-point game.
I believe so.
I believe so.
Yeah, Embiid shot 24
Probably
for
right.
41. And he shot 21 for 23 free throws.
See, that's good. He was on fire.
18 rebounds,
He was
5
on fire.
assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 70 points. Crazy.
I think there was a point where, like, as a player on their team, like once your guy, like
Is
especially
on fire.
depending on where they are in the game, if it's only like halfway through the game and they're at 50, you just keep on giving them the ball.
That's what I was watching
like-
Jeff Teague's podcast. It's actually
He's good. He's
It's
good.
dope.
Jeff Teague's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I like this.
And they were talking about that, and he was just like, it's like, yeah, when a dude's on fire, you're just like, feed him till he cools off.
yeah.
Pretty much. And usually they don't cool off.
Feed him till
That's
he
like
cools
when
off.
that, like a few years ago when Clay had that game.
Yeah, because when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
on fire, it's like,
Wait, at 13 or something like
yeah,
that?
it was
You hit
something
that.
crazy.
You got that stroke, you know?
That is pretty dope, though. I mean, so kudos to them. But we can go into the Tristan since it's still b-ball.
Well, I was gonna say one thing. Did you see a couple of the snubs on the All-Star thing? I thought it
Who
was
do you
kind of.
think's a snub?
I think the fact that now not one Clippers player is a starter.
Well, the whole thing is that's voting. That's fan voting.
Is it?
Yeah, you vote for the All-Star team.
Huh.
I didn't
don't-
vote
Who's
for
the
them.
starter on the Clippers?
Who's a starter?
You got
An
Harden.
all-star starter.
You got
I would-
Harden,
I'd probably
Kawhi, Paul George. Paul George is putting up like numbers this year.
Yeah.
He's not
Maybe
reliable.
his best year so far.
I think George or Harden both. Like all of them are having like their best years.
As in one of the top 5 out of the West.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think they're top 15.
I mean,
I don't think they're one of the
I just
top
don't.
5 players.
I just
in the
don't
West.
think I get it. Like it's like I guess it's because it's voting, so whatever, it's voting. But like to see LeBron James up there again,
He's got fans.
That's
fans
what I mean.
will vote for him.
That's what I mean. I guess it's fan like it's
But he should
voting,
be,
so I
that
get
should,
it.
that should be kind of allowable because he's him.
But he's always putting up like
I guess.
he's doing career numbers every
That's
year.
what
He's
I'm
not
saying.
getting
He's him,
demonstrably
like-
bad. Like he's good.
He's
Yeah, but I
him.
think if you put him on a different team, he's not that guy.
It's
I
been
think,
proven he's him on any team.
but I don't think now you can move him away
he's
from.
40.
But that's what I mean. I think he's only where he is because the Lakers
We never
suck.
know.
There's
If-
only 2 good Laker
You never
players.
know. Put him
Well, no,
somewhere
I
else,
think
though.
like say,
He may
oh, you
be
mean
the-
on a better team?
I'm just saying,
Or
on
on
their
a worse team.
Yeah, but
I think he's going to be doing his numbers because he's like he runs the.
That's what I
offense.
think.
So I think he's. Gonna
I
be
think
putting
if
up
there
those
was a
numbers
better
regardless.
player on the Lakers, you'd see his.
AD is technically better.
But there's only 2. That's what I mean. There's only 2
Well,
good
that's like
players
how
on
it
that
is.
team.
Like when it was. I mean, you could say Middleton, but when the Bucks won, it's like Drew and Giannis.
You're right. You're right.
But Middleton
role
knows
players.
that. I just think
role
like if they
players.
would have gotten Levine, like there's no way that he would keep his same numbers, or else then you're not giving, or else Levine's not scoring. Like there's somebody's got to lose.
Well, that's just like how it is on the Suns. Like KD still puts up numbers, but he's not good because it's got like you got Book and him and you got Beal.
I still just think that like LeBron's unstoppable still.
I think so because he's
unstoppable.
well, he's
like there's no one that can defend him
his
right now.
physicality, like his size, his speed. Like he's 40, but he's fast. He's faster than most players
in the gym. He's yoked, dude. Like
and he spends more than $1 million every year
on his body
his
recovery.
rehab and
Yeah,
stuff. So
it's
he's
there's like KD is a different type of player.
I mean, KD and Westbrook are both putting up 28 points. KD 28.8, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 53% a game. Book 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 50%. Those are
you said Westbrook. I was like Westbrook's not putting up those
Book.
numbers.
Book. Like I'm guessing both of those are probably better than LeBron in terms of stats.
Check it out. I don't know though. I mean, Book's stoppable. He's great, but he's defendable.
KD's not.
It's not. That's when like
Wemby not. Embiid not.
Like-
AD not.
not LeBron right now. It's still not.
Well, what's crazy is Minnesota's number 1 in the West.
I mean, the Greek Freak isn't guardable.
That's
No.
not Minnesota.
I'm sorry.
Cat.
Cat is guardable.
Well, he's just because
soft.
he's not the same, but like the average player can't guard him.
No, you're right.
You got to need him like Embiid, a Giannis, or something like that.
You need
Jokic,
one of the top 5 guys. Yeah, he's a top 10 or 15. That's how I feel like Harden and them are.
But who else is on Minnesota? You got Pat Bev. You got Gobert. You got.
You think it's cool for somebody to be like for a team to barely be making it right now into the playoffs to have all-stars?
Which team?
Lakers.
No, well, it doesn't matter because it's voting. So like, it doesn't matter if it's fair or not.
Yeah.
Like, because it doesn't have anything to do with like
At
stats.
all.
Like, because KD's a starter.
Because I always think about like baseball. It's like, is it fair that the Yankees have the most money and notoriety? No, but it is. The way
And
it
then
is.
like coming up, like look at
Like
the
the
Dodgers.
Lakers and the Celtics are always forever going to be a name in the NBA for how many titles they have. It just is what it is.
The Celtics though are pretty much consistently good.
but they haven't been.
I don't know if
to
there's-
the
They
finals
haven't
since
been.
Doc.
They are consistently where they are, but they haven't gone over the hump since KG and them, right?
To the finals.
Haven't made it to the finals.
Yeah, finals, and that's a long time ago.
Because didn't Miami knock them out?
Mhm.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they'll always be like. I mean, the Celtics shouldn't technically be a big market. It's Boston, but it's the Celtics.
But
Well, the
their
whole thing
market's all of New England, so it's not just
Well,
Boston.
not
it's every
even just
single-
that, because like I've seen Boston play the Clippers, and there was a lot of Clippers fans in there. There's a lot of Boston expats like all around the country, so their market's big. Like any big market team's gonna have fans everywhere.
Well,
Like
that's what I'm saying because of their legacy. It's
Boston
like the Lakers. The Lakers will have fans outside of Los Angeles.
I think-
more than a lot of other teams.
Yeah, I think statistically though, like, I was watching the Celtics
so?
play.
No, I agree.
I was watching Celtics play the other day, and I think they said that they have the percentage-wise the most traveling fans of any
they
team.
come to over there.
Any team in the NBA. So
Yeah,
they
they're
always
good.
have
I mean,
the
they're
most.
forever. At least
Well,
for
Boston-
our lifetime, they're always going to be a name because I mean, what they got 17, 18 rings apiece or something.
Well,
like
I mean, like Boston's like a sports city.
that. Is it?
It's like you could say like
The Sox aren't nothing though, right?
no, but like the
red.
Pats just
But
going
people
on.
die
Like,
for those teams.
yeah,
Like,
people are like diehard fans. Like Lakers, like I feel like there's something about LA. It's like people are kind of like they're not going to travel to see those games and stuff. Like they're, whereas like Boston fans, they're like it's like football, like what the Rams and stuff and the Chargers. People aren't going to go.
But the Pats were just because they had Brady.
Exactly, but they
And the Lakers have always had a guy.
well because
or
that
a
well that
ring.
Brady just cemented like the diehards because there's so many people that we know probably that are Pats fans that start because they grew up during the
Johnny
Brady era.
Come-Latelys, yeah.
Yeah, but they stuck with him even though they're not good.
But they're
good by
not
any
like
measure.
the Lakers have always kind of been at least
There,
there.
a few years here and there.
I mean, they
I mean,
kind
there
of
was a
been
couple years where it was real bad, but like
they kind of been floundering for.
they make the playoffs though.
Yeah. I mean, but like Clippers always make the playoffs.
I
too.
mean, I feel like
they're
the
Clips.
Magic make the playoffs.
But they're in the East.
Well, if you look at it too, like I feel like that's not. Yeah, there's still some powerhouses on the West, but like the East is like coming up pretty good.
Now
Like,
they are. No, they've
yeah.
spread a lot of talent around the
Which
league,
is good, like-
which is good.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
the one that I see on this list that is the most curious is Lillard. But
He's a starter.
but like it's voting, so it doesn't
But
matter.
I'm saying
he's a starter.
Probably shouldn't be a starter.
Yeah.
At least with the stats he's been putting up this year.
he has good stats.
No, but
he
he's a
started
top-
off real slow.
He's
but-
top 15 is what I'm saying. But to be, is he the? Because there's only 5 positions for top 5. So if you're putting Dame as a starter, so he's the best point guard in the West.
I just think you shouldn't have 2 players from the same team.
Well, I think you could if they're the best.
Yeah, but I just think like don't you get more people to watch it when you bring like for instance a Knicks player if like
But I mean, you got to have the Greek freak.
Is Curry,
100%.
is Curry starting?
no.
See, that's like
He
one of the
shouldn't.
first years that he
He shouldn't though, because he isn't. I mean, he's him.
But he's just getting
But-
older.
You know,
You know?
I
the
think though
game's
it's
like-
votes though. Again, like
No,
people
it is
don't.
it is votes.
No, but I'm saying like in terms of the votes, I don't think people really are like
Curry don't sway the masses like that.
not to the same that he was doing. Like just in,
but
in-
even
in-
he's got an Under Armour shoe. Like
yeah, but just in general, Golden State isn't the one that
They're
like
not them.
doesn't have the wave that they had like 3 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could put almost anybody decent on the Lakers, and if they do anything good, they're a superstar.
Like
Austin
Reeves. I think he's really good though. I think he hasn't
decent.
hit his ceiling that.
He's
I feel like he's been
decent.
terrible this
Like remember
season.
Caruso? It's not like he's the
No, Caruso. Yeah, well, you get a white guy that could dunk. Like people go crazy for him.
anyone on the Lakers. You just like, oh, he's gonna be the next. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know, because the Celtics, Lakers. Who else? I think the Knicks always have a name too, and they sucked.
Yeah, Knicks have are historically
They're
not
historic
good.
just because I think MSG, right?
Yeah, and like
Well, I think also because of New
Knicks
York.
hards,
New York.
Knicks fans go hard
They-
like every season.
Spike. I feel like anywhere that had like, because LA had Jack, New York had Spike.
Well, they got the
Still
prestige.
does.
Like they're
still-
courtside fans. Like always big names going to MSG. You know,
but that helps build up the
same thing with Lakers.
That was
like,
the whole
That's what I'm
thing with
saying.
Showtime.
yeah, prestige. Yeah,
It was literally that's what Showtime was
That's
about.
what Showtime was.
Is bringing the Showtime to it. I guess the thing with me and LeBron is that I don't feel that the NBA is doing a good job to strengthen up another player post LeBron. It just doesn't seem
It's like how we are with hip hop right now. It's like, who's the guy? I don't know. There's a lot of dudes, but
because like when Kobe was playing, or when Jordan was playing, Kobe was
The dude.
was doing something. When Kobe was, LeBron still
was
was
coming in.
Like you
And-
can just kind of feel that. Like
and then even still, when they had like LeBron, it was like mellow LeBron for a while.
yeah.
You
Well,
know? A very short bit, but Melo had
well,
juice.
because he was like a bigger guy and he's got muscle. Like there's nobody like LeBron. Like all the other guys that are like fast and muscular, like they're bigger. They're like Giannis or something. There's no player like LeBron. There's
'cause
there's
who is gonna be
Ants.
the face?
Ants really good.
Ant's
good.
good man. He plays a lot like Kobe and Jordan. The way he plays.
He's good,
And he's like
good.
he's like a good personality.
But you
He's
just don't
like-
need to be good. Too. You need
funny.
to be like personable. You need to
Yeah.
be charismatic.
You need to make sure that you never go against China.
You got to do a lot.
Well, I think
Like,
that's why
about
Ant
it.
is like he's not like he's top 15 in the league. I think, but
He's good.
I don't think he's like.
He won't be a guy.
You just give him a couple more years because I don't think he's reached his ceiling yet. I think
No,
he's
but
really good.
even publicly, he can't have the perception because he was already too harsh on his potential baby.
Oh
mama.
yeah. Well,
You know,
people forget things.
maybe
Yeah, I mean, look how Kobe started his career.
this was back then, though.
But that was
People-
on the
I think
news.
people
That was
forget stuff
plastered on the
fast.
news.
It was. It
Like
was
people don't even
definitely
watch the
fast.
news anymore, so it's like, yeah, everybody knew about that stuff. So
I feel like
But that
people
wasn't
forget
even
faster
bad,
now.
though. He cheated on his wife?
No, it was
no, that was
it was
great.
underage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You don't know? Are you willfully not? You
I
don't
didn't.
remember?
No, I don't remember. I thought it was just like he. Oh,
I'm getting old there.
No,
I'm the
thinking
old
of
one
Tiger.
here.
I'm thinking of Tiger.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Tiger.
that's completely different. Yeah, that was with the porn star and
Sorry.
corn.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of
Corn.
Tiger.
I mean, sticking with sports is you got some Super Bowl predictions, or were you going to talk about Tristan Thompson real quick?
Well, I just thought it was funny that someone got popped for using steroids that doesn't even play.
I actually didn't. I mean, I remember him being on the Cavs, but I didn't think he was actually still playing.
He's still on the Cavs because he bounced around before he went back on the
I
Cavs.
mean, he's,
Yeah,
only-
it's
he's
like-
actually only 32.
No, he could still play, but it's like he was never good.
Yeah,
He was like right place, right
He's
time.
okay.
right
He got a
place,
ring,
right
right?
time.
Two
He's
rings.
got a couple rings, I think.
Because Kyrie and Bron.
Yeah, he got.
He was a Cav.
Yeah,
And they had Caleb. They had a good team.
that was a great.
That was a good team.
Yeah,
Like
that was when Caleb was on fire.
Kyrie.
I still think Kyrie probably has some of the best handles, if not the best handles.
He's
in the NBA.
probably got the best handles in the league.
Yeah, still.
Well, I just don't think it's like you can't. It's hard to have a two guard like superstar combo, like because even like say Boston, they got Jalen and Jason,
Tatum.
like the two J's, like, but they're completely different. One's a guard, one's like more of a winger.
And because Tatum plays point, huh?
Drew Holiday.
You're
they got.
right.
Yeah,
You're
they got
right.
Holiday.
You're right.
Yeah,
it
him
kind of
and-
doesn't work with two
him and White.
all-stars.
Yeah, you got two
off-ball.
PGs, like you can't do that. Like you can't have two guys who both you just make the plays and like high ball usage and stuff. I mean, you heard like Trey. Who is it? Trey Young might come to
Mike
the
of the
Lakers.
Lakers.
That's
Him or
good 'cause
Donovan, or who was it? Donovan? No. It wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're
Donovan
saying
Mitchell.
D Mitch, yeah,
Mitch. That'd be cool. I guess they need a point guard.
I think. Yeah,
because they need to stop making LeBron play point because like he could do it, but
he
it's
can
like
do it.
he needs to like not. He needs to do the cutting and shit like that.
D'Lo was looking all right, and he floundered.
something happened with their like always.
I think it's the coach though too.
It
I don't think
could
he knows how to
be,
play.
dude.
Darvin
He's
Ham.
he's underplaying Reeves and like I don't know. I think he just like the Lakers never have a learning coach where they learn and make the players better.
Well, that's what Dame said. He's having a hard time acquiescing with the coaching.
They just fired him.
Yeah, that too. They got Doc. Yeah,
Oh, did they get Doc?
Yeah,
they got Doc.
Oh, that's a bad choice.
Yeah, but
They're
no,
not
but
gonna
Dame
go
was the
from
one that was like, dude, I'm having a hard time fitting in with this offense. Like,
because they've had the thing going for a while, and then you got to like
and Dame had a thing
Integrate.
going for a long time.
he was the guy.
He was the guy. So it's just like
What's up with the Super Bowl though? How do you feel about that?
4 teams left right now. I think that it's going to be Detroit,
It's KC, Detroit, SF, and
Ravens, and I think it's going to be the Lions versus the Ravens.
I feel like that's what everyone wants. I saw that.
I feel like it's just Detroit's year. Like it's been storybook, so let's
because
just
like
make
Detroit's
it
a
happen.
historically bad. Like
Yeah.
they're a sports city, but like historically
They
bad.
need
like,
it. Like they need something to help revitalize Detroit. So
I think-
they got
I think-
Eminem.
I think,
they got
Big
Taylor
Sean
Swift,
was out there
They
and
got Big
stuff.
Sean. So they just using everything they got right now. But
Yeah, I mean, I like the underdogs. You know me, but I gotta give it to the Niners on this one. I think they're gonna
Bang Bang Niner game.
I think they're gonna steamroll them. I'm not even like
Purdy?
Niner gang.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy,
He's balling. Boy balling.
CMC.
Boys.
He's
balling.
he's like one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
at his position.
Yeah. No, they're balling. Like I think Brock, this is only his second year in the league. So he's balling. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
it's I think that Detroit. I think this is written. It is written.
Let's put money on this. What?
I'll put at least. I'll put
I put a 20 spot on it.
20 on.
I don't wanna do
Detroit.
more than
Yeah,
that.
I'll put
Wait,
20 on
you're
Detroit.
doing that only? That's just only on the Lion 49er game.
No, I'm just saying the Lions are going to make the Super Bowl.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the Lions are going to win, and
he's
you're
saying
saying,
they're
I basically
Yeah.
pretty much
Because we're going-
betting
yeah,
on that game.
yeah,
pretty
putting
much,
that
right?
game.
Put
So I was
20 on
like,
that
it's
game.
that game, right?
It's basically that game. Yeah. The Niners are. I think it's.
All I can do is I do think
fate.
that the Ravens will beat the Chiefs.
I think it is. I don't know if Taylor's out there swag surfing.
Historically, that's like offense versus defense. I
Defense,
mean,
Ravens does-
legendary.
It's so.
The D.
Well, I think it's going to be. I actually started watching a little more football this season, so I think it'll be actually cool. Football's cool. It's weird.
cool.
It's a weird sport.
It's slow. Stop having the time stop.
I think
All
think
that is what
college
messes it
football is
up.
way more fun to watch.
I think you just need to press people. Like, just don't stop the time. Let's see what happens.
Shout out Michigan.
Oh yeah,
Go Blue.
The time there, the football's.
Are you a
cool.
Michigan fan?
Nah, Marlene's she went to Michigan, so
There you go.
Oh, you just need a sweater.
The big
Yeah.
M.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I
I never got an AP one. That was weird. You crochet? Is that new?
Could
You could because you know how to, or you could because you can learn.
both.
Good.
I could learn how to.
It's awesome. It's good. There's a lot of things you could probably do.
No, I've crocheted like something once.
something once.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I've
When
done,
I was a
like,
little boy.
You
No,
sure
I
you're not talking about
crocheted-
croquet?
No, I've had salmon croquettes. No, I crocheted like
Croquet's a game.
swatch like this big.
swatch?
A swatch. You say
You just
a tiny
did it-
scarf.
you just-
It wasn't a scarf. It was about that far.
It was
It
just
Just
like,
like,
an extra. It was a really small plate,
was a little hanky. Yeah.
It was a it was like a
a heating pad.
yeah,
You
plate-
put the-
placemat, a tiny
No, I just want
placemat
some,
for
and I was like,
canapes.
oh, this is cool. Then I was like, it doesn't go anywhere. This is all I do.
You could have just kept going, and make a scarf.
Or I could have just kept on crocheting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I
Crochet
have
all
learned how to
day?
crochet, but I don't remember how. I'd have to relearn. But yeah, it's cool.
I believe in you.
Oh, I guess to keep it sports related, there was
Oh no.
Vince McMahon. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like
pseudo-sports.
It's a sport. It's
sport.
athletic for sure.
Entertainment and athletics for sure.
But it's like, how many allegations has Vince McMahon had before? He's like Diddy. Like, how many people have you paid off to like settle outside of court?
well, when you're that balling,
Is he a billionaire?
I would
Vince
assume he
McMahon?
touched $1 billion.
But he's probably, since hundreds of millions he's had to pay out, so he's
But
probably
it's
net worth is dipped.
I don't really keep up with the McMahon. It was cool when I was a kid. I'm sure Ron's affected.
Yo,
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
2.8 billion.
ooh,
That's what I'm
Billy
saying. So that's why
Club.
you just step down. You know.
Well,
you
because
just-
also like
you're gonna lose it.
he's in the.
Well,
in
no,
the,
you don't want the businesses to crumble. So you step down. They distance themselves.
Yeah.
But you still pocket that.
Well, you get your stipends.
Yeah, I mean, because he was, I think, one of the people back in the day when we're talking like the like Stone Cold, Razor Ramon, the Rock days of wrestling. Like he was telling them to take steroids
Oh, I'm sure.
and like explicitly type of thing. Like,
I mean, wouldn't you?
well, he's like. Because it's not like
You
that's
don't want your
sanctioned
dudes
by
to be
any.
all
That's
weak
like
looking,
sanctioned by anything, but it's all
Yeah.
looks, you know. Like,
But that's why I'm saying you would want them to be.
yeah. I mean, but like besides that, he's just like he's not a good person. He's a terrible person. I think.
I don't know if he's a bad person or not.
I think he's a bad person.
I do know he was named.
How many SA allegations do you have,
after wrestlers? So black sex toys were named after black wrestlers, and he had white sex toys named after.
You mean
white-
his sex toys, or like
His-
he put out
his.
a line?
his personals? So he had like the Stone Colder. He had he had the Booker T.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't realize this.
Do you have a Rikishi?
he probably had a Rikishi. But no, yeah, I don't know if he's a bad dude or not.
I think he's a bad person.
I can't say he's a
How
bad
many
person.
like because
From
he's had multiple like many SA allegations against him, and that's not that's like talking about like workplace stuff and as well as like and stuff that isn't even reported.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying not to judge people.
6.
But
How good of a person is he?
I don't like. Does it make you a terrible person because you consistently do bad things?
Yes.
It does.
Wait, what?
Does it make you a bad person because you consistently do one bad thing?
If you consistently do a bad thing, then your percentage of being good or bad is bad, so you're a bad person.
And plus, if like
How? If you
because
only
like if
consistently
you're
do
doing
one
this
bad
one
thing.
thing, that's how you like look at a person, even if it's like somebody of the opposite gender. That's how you value a person. So you look at that whole.
No.
If I consistently kill one person a day, but it's only
murder.
it's only one bad thing, but I do it every day.
But what on the flip side, if you
Don't matter how many
Sean
times.
only beats a child
Doesn't
once a
matter
day.
how many times
It's
you
only
pray or how
children.
much money
it's
you
only
give.
children.
why not?
It doesn't take away. I might give a lot of money. It doesn't take away from the fact of what that money does, but that's not me. That's just what the money did.
So you both are saying that one action totally identifies you
Nope.
as a person,
We didn't say one action.
No, we didn't even say that
We said
identifies you, but
multiple.
that's.
but the same
Recurring.
action.
I would say it's a consistent behavior more than
Yeah.
one
You may
action.
have a mental problem.
Oh, I'm sure he has many problems, but that doesn't excuse you. Just like, you abuse someone because you have like issues. That doesn't. Yeah, that you have. There's reasons why you behave a certain
Wait,
way, but
mental
you're not.
handicaps shouldn't excuse people from things?
I'm saying it's not an excuse from abuse, physical abuse.
It
if you're
is an
abusing a
excuse,
person.
but should they be excused? And I'm not talking about Vince McMahon at this point. I'm saying if somebody really was.
No, I know you're
Yeah.
broad issuing it,
Saying
but
if somebody really was mentally ill, say like a Gypsy Rose.
What about it?
Well, it seems like, we said it's okay because she's mentally ill.
we said it's okay for what? She's not abusing people. Like, are you talking about
Did
because
abuse
what?
somebody.
Are you talking about
How?
manipulating the boyfriend into it?
Exactly. That's
I don't think
abuse.
people said it's okay.
Well, I would be
She went to prison.
for a short period of time, and now she's getting the love of the nation.
Well, that's
Public perception, I know, is different.
also like I wouldn't say it's the love of the nation, but I mean
Intrigue of the nation.
not even that. But I think Josh always talks about what is it, the cult of something or other.
Cult of celebrity, cult
Yeah,
of personality.
cult of
Like, it's-
personality.
I feel like that's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think that one repetitive action makes you bad. I'm sorry.
What makes you bad?
multiple different
Exactly.
negative behaviors makes you bad.
Because, I mean, we all do bad. We all do good. So you have to put it on a percentage. And I'm just saying, in the Vince McMahon thing, if he was an angel in every other aspect of his life,
So
He
you think,
wouldn't.
So you're saying like Danny Masterson? He only does.
I
He
don't
only
know.
does that.
I'm saying if they were. I don't know.
But
if
but
he
what Josh was saying is, if Danny Masterson only did that, then he's a good person.
if he did more good,
no.
How do you measure more good?
like if
What's
he's
that
out here
even
like
mean?
doing stuff for people, like feeding the homeless,
Does
building
that take away
houses.
from the damage that he did to people
I
or
didn't
people?
say that, but that's
no,
why
I'm just
I
asking
said-
you. Does
no,
it?
it doesn't. But that's why I asked. Does one action define who you completely are?
But you're saying one action.
That's not one action.
This is
You're saying like
multiple
one
actions
time
over and over
If you're
and
not
over
learning
again.
from your mistakes, I think that's kind of how you do you view the world. If you're
Well,
getting
you
away,
said 6, so let's be honest.
No, I think it was something like 15. I don't know. I lost count.
Let's be honest. He's 80 years old. So if you did something 15 times in your life,
If you trafficked women 15 times,
if you trafficked women 15 times in your life, but over the course of your life did a million great things,
it still doesn't take away the fact
Okay.
that you did those things.
so you're a bad person.
You did bad. How about this?
I think being
You've done
successful,
bad
you could be
things,
successful. I
We've
think
all
many
done
of the
bad things.
but you have to be. Sometimes you have to be held accountable for the bad things you do.
I'm not saying you don't have to be held accountable. I'm just saying in totality,
you kind of are because
would
you're
you-
negating. You're
I'm not
negating those
negating.
things.
I'm saying if I'm not even posing the question.
Is he
on
a good
You
air.
are
person?
posing the question.
I say I'm trying to refrain on because I don't know.
Is he a good person? What would make him a good person? Are people?
Well, to
are
me,
there
it
people
seemed
out there
like-
that are actually all good, always good?
No, but it seems like he's
So
a
then
good
there's no
person because
answer.
he's been able to at least monetarily take care of a lot of people. A lot of people have stood behind him and championed him more than the 15 people that came.
I think what you're saying right now is that because he gave people money.
No, you're saying that.
No, that's what you just said.
I'm
you just said
laying out
your
facts.
words were
I'm laying
because
out
he
facts.
brought. Whether you can't. You do this a lot. I'm gonna call you out on it.
That's
You
not a
sa-
fact.
where's your facts?
How many people did he employ in the WWE?
Did he employ them?
Yes,
Did he
'cause
do it
owned
all? Did he do it
owned
all?
the company.
Really? So he employed them all. You don't know what you're talking about,
He owned the company, so yes.
bro. I'm not even gonna just go
If
to
you
something
own
else.
a
Go to something
company,
else. You don't know what you're
you-
talking about.
Okay. If you own a company, you don't have employees, you're right. Or you don't own those
We'll
people.
say like
You're saying that the person at the top is the only reason why everyone below.
So Jeff
has
Bezos
something.
is why he's employing, his company is employing these thousands or millions of people. He's not employing them. If they changed him, if he got kicked off the board, these people wouldn't lose their jobs. He's not employing them.
I get that, but who started Amazon or WWE?
But that doesn't matter who the starter is. At
they are
one
still
point,
at the
Do you
seat,
think
though.
Henry Ford was a crazy anti-Semitic? He did a lot of bad things, but he started Ford, so he employs all these people. So he's a good person because the whole thing is like with all these companies, you're exploiting labor for your own gain. He's worth 2 point however many billion because of all these other people. It's not because his actions. Like he did promote and he grew the company, but just because you grow a company, you're still exploiting people. Like, do you think that they would be, if he didn't have this kind of like unethical and irresponsible behavior, like he couldn't make the company what it was, like because he was like that, it's okay because he helped raise up other people or he gave them jobs or something?
No, but I'm not disregarding that.
what? What are you not disregarding?
Everything you just said.
Well, just
I'm
because,
not
like,
disregarding that.
because you could, like we were talking about it, you could be rich and you can get away with a lot of stuff because you pay people off.
He might have employed people, and following your logic, if he is, if basically he's in control of every employees, if he employs murderers, then he's a bad person because he employed murderers. That's following your logic. That would means that it would be drip because you're thinking that there's a drip down approach.
Chris Benoit.
Like that's not how things work. Like just because somebody's on top doesn't mean that because everything below them they are part of. And in the same way, everything below them they're not part of.
Okay, so within that logic, he made no millionaires under his company. Right?
He made them. Like,
I'm just asking, he made no millionaires under his name or his company. Right?
I don't think he actionably went to people and said, "Guys, don't do anything. I'm going to do everything. Don't even think about doing anything. Don't work. Don't do anything at all in your life. I'm gonna do all your work and I'm gonna make you millions." No, I don't think he did that. So no, I don't think he made
He gives people the opportunity to star in his thing, and yes, he gives them opportunity. But
so
it's like
all this hard work is, or even you don't think he's made people money, like given people the opportunity to make a lot of money.
Yeah, he gives them opportunity.
Opportunity is way different than making somebody money.
Okay. Did he not give a lot of people the opportunity to make a lot of money, Vince McMahon?
He probably gave opportunity to make money, and from that, they made money. Some people probably made a lot. Some people probably didn't make it.
No. I'm not saying that at all, but all I'm saying is that one number right
it just
there
seems
is
that you
more than
only
15.
look. It just seems that you only look at things
monetarily.
But monetary is a huge thing for you. But you only look at things in the sense of like, oh, they did something good, but you completely negate the other side of your conversation. You never go to the opposite side of your conversation.
I started off by saying he did do this bad,
but you're not saying though, like Josh said, you think that you think that a person who doesn't have the morality and did these bad things, every other moral is great. You think that
no. But I'm saying, what if?
But that's a stupid what if, man.
How though? Because it
doesn't exist.
Look at it the same. So
you're asking what ifs. You're asking what ifs that don't exist.
Okay, I get that. Then I'll rephrase. All of us. There's no one that's 100% good, right?
Correct. At the same time,
I don't know if there's anyone that's 100%. There may be some, but I wouldn't put that. I don't think anyone has just complete bad.
So if Josh or I came out that we essayed 15 people.
I don't think that you're the worst person. You may have made the worst decision ever, but I don't think you're a horrible person.
But you keep redoing these. It's even worse because if it's one action, you keep repeating that same action over and over, even though a raft of negative consequences for yourself and others. Just because you pay somebody out $50 million because you gave them extreme trauma for the rest of their life, because you give them money.
It's this topic that it's so sensitive. If it was anything else, would it?
Well, there's things of
people that steal money, like the whole what was it, Bernie Madoff thing? That's not different. And he made people a lot of money, Trey.
But that's what I'm saying. Would you call him a bad person?
Yes. He ruined people, destroyed their lives, destroyed.
Because as much money he's made, he's destroyed people's lives. Not even these victims of his abuses, but say Chris Benoit, of these people, there's no, it's not sanctioned or regulated by outside agencies. So it's they're doing whatever in the sake of entertainment. Like Chris Benoit had CTE, murdered his family. Yeah, you're destroying lives left and right. And yes, it's a successful company. It's making a lot of money for a lot of people, but it's because it's it boils down to profit at all costs. I could do these bad, irresponsible behaviors and the actions, and I can it's fine. I'll just pay them off. We'll keep doing business as usual. It's not that's kind of like capitalism. It's
well, that's maybe more of what I'm asking, because it seems like it's more than not. This is a reoccurring thing with people at the top of these companies, right?
Yeah, it basically comes down to a lack of accountability.
Is it okay? So then that's where I have I don't know if it's a lack of accountability, but whatever it is, I feel like they've been doing this for a long time, right? Doing kind of the same thing, right? Exactly what's going on now. McMahon's not really going to be losing too much of his estate, whereas his personal perception may be tarnished a little bit, right?
I have no idea.
Monetarily, I don't think he's gonna.
He's 2.8 million. He can do whatever he wants.
But that's okay. So that's what I'm saying. So monetarily, he's not going to be affected. I get it. Perception, it's. I think maybe what you guys are both talking about. Is he done forever? Public eye.
No, he doesn't care. Like, that's why he's
No,
doing
no, no.
these
I'm
behaviors.
saying, is he done for now?
No.
I mean, honestly, dude, I didn't even know he was still a big deal. I thought he was dead. So
He is basically, because he's not really.
So I imagine
running.
most people don't give a fuck, and he's not. He's done. I think he's washed.
He is washed.
Like, who really? First thing, like, do you care about him? Don't you think that it'd be better that you would pick somebody that you care about to like?
I just don't know if he's a bad person though. Like
But-
Bezos, I don't know if he's a
But
bad
like,
person.
it's this like kind of like thing we were talking about with victim blaming. You automatically, and I get you're like, oh, I want to see from both sides, but it's like the positions you take, you always seem to side with like the accused. Like, it's like, oh, I haven't seen evidence. Like, I only know the stuff in the news from Vince McMahon is negative actions.
No, then, well, I have a perfect one because I forgot the story too. Is Kobe Bryant a bad person? Or did he make bad decisions but rectified?
Well,
stuff?
so in the scenario of this, you're actually talking about a scenario that was one problem against something that was many problems. Kobe wasn't charged, or there were no allegations for beating or for sex trafficking or for anything like that. So it's a complete different scenario. And I think he was 19
He
and
was definitely young.
she was 17 or 16 or something like that. In that vein, I think the majority of people
no, that was more like a greedy thing.
would
That's not
probably
bad.
and
say no.
He also did a lot of work. Like, I
But that's-
held that against him. Like,
That's
he
more or less what
was
I'm
like,
asking.
he
Is there any coming back? Is there? That's the real question.
I think it depends
What
on
is
what kind of coming back you want. Some
The
people,
same status. It can't happen, right?
well, I
And
think
take Vince McMahon
for
out.
most
Just
people, I don't
anyone,
think it can happen.
right?
But I think it's just for most people. Like, remember Roseanne Barge?
And she can't. Yeah,
Bar.
she hasn't been.
Bar? Is it Bar?
Bar.
Yeah,
It's just
she hasn't
BARR?
been- She
I always
hasn't
thought
been
G.
back, right?
You know?
Yeah.
It's just
No,
like,
you're right. What is she? Was it anti-Semitism?
Yeah, I believe something like that, or something racist.
there's just
or
certain
something.
things that, like, you know, and
can't
and-
fully
but
come
but
back from.
on that side of the spectrum, people love her.
No, yeah.
So, you know, it's like with the Vince McMahon thing, I'm sure people won't care.
Of course, but only the devout.
Well, he has
WWE person may
it's like
really have
not
some-
even then. It's like people like he's always even in his persona within wrestling. Like, he portrays himself as a villain. So it's like it's not anything new for him.
New for him,
People,
you're right.
he doesn't have like fans. Like, there's not people rapidly. Maybe there's a couple out there, but just a handful. He's like just kind of living his persona. Like, he's a bad. I think he portrays himself as that, and it's like, you know, if you portray yourself a certain amount for a long time, like, you're going to kind of lean into these things and
So
start
off
believing
cam,
them.
he portrayed himself like he was his on-air character.
No,
Like
but
how that
I
was?
think if you like say even to the public eye, if you portray yourself a certain way, I think
get what you're
eventually
saying,
you start to adopt some of those things into
Wait,
your personal
no, you're probably
beliefs.
right, because that's probably why Cena wanted to be so positive, because he knew maybe if he wanted to have a career,
Who?
John Cena.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
probably
mean, I
right.
think
I
also
mean-
with the McMahon thing, like, there's just constant comments of, like, how he was, like,
Before
terrible to just his employees. Not women, but just, like,
In
all
gen- no, no, no.
employees, you know? I don't think the dude has, on his side, redeeming qualities
That's-
that would make you go, oh, like...
that's the question.
Like,
I'm trying
can
to
you
answer.
get better? Yeah,
Of course.
I think you should never throw anybody completely out from the realm of forgiveness. But forgiveness doesn't mean that
forgotten?
you
or-
just get to go back to where you are. It just means, like, I don't want to hold on to this shit, so I'm gonna forgive you and good luck for you, and you know. And I think, you know, like in his quote, he said, like the first day he was like, this is completely fake, and then the next day he was like, I'm resigning. So it's
That's when you know, that's like the P Diddy thing. At first you're like, oh maybe, but then it's like he's stepping down. Something's not right.
Well, I think too, in the case of like
not stepping
most
down.
of these people, they public apology and like they lay low. But like with Kobe, I'm not even a Kobe fan, like by any means, but he did work. Like he talked to people, different organizations, and like, you know, he tried to understand what he did wrong. And especially, I think that's a big step as somebody at that young age, like, you know, in your early 20s, and you're reckoning with this behavior and this public perception, and you're such a public figure, and then you're doing the work to like, I did these actions and I regret this, but I'm also like, I think he's either started or he's worked with like foundations for abused women and that stuff. And like
the later years of Kobe were
but
great.
Yeah, no, but like exactly because he learned from it.
Because,
but like most of these people, they don't learn from it, especially if you're at the top. You're not necessarily like a public figure. You have so much power, and like absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's like, I think because you can just afford to like pay people off,
you
like
just
there's a lack of
right?
accountability.
Okay. I get that. No, I get that because I'm like, I'm not too passionate about Vince McMahon, but like there has to be some redeeming qualities. But for him, like I said, I didn't know how many. Of course, I don't think he's a great person. But he's old as fuck at the same time. You know what I mean?
I just think that there's people you actually care about, and it would make more sense to me for you to
be
fight
like,
for those
Bill
people.
Cosby. That's almost like a Bill Cosby thing, right? It's almost the exact same, but minus trafficking.
Whatever you say, like I just think pick somebody that you actually really like care about and have like some like skin in the game for their life, because you always start these conversations about people that you don't care about. So it's
I'm just saying I feel the same way about McMahon as I feel about Bill Cosby. It's an old dude. A lot of these charges are kind of old, so I don't even know what's going on. I mean,
but at the same time, because you don't educate yourself on, you hear some stuff and then you're like, you die on this hill for this person. But if you really looked into the Bill Cosby stuff, like these are terrible things. But it's like, you look at Vince, like, I mean, like, I guess it's like pick your battles, because
it is pick your battles, because I can't speak about Vince, but I can't speak like for Cosby. I know he did a lot for like underprivileged communities. So it's like, you know what I mean? I know more about that stuff than the smut on his name. So that's where I get triggered when I hear something like, okay, I get that, but I also know that's the impact that he's had.
But then that's comes back to like selective bias. So you're like, oh, I know these positive things, I've never heard of these negative things.
You're right.
Then it comes back to like, and that's with everyone. We all have bias, but that's like very, I guess, really when we make like statements about people, we should definitely try to have more educated.
Yeah, no, that's where that came from, because it's like the same thing to me. He's an old dude. I'm not saying he didn't do it or not. Probably did do it. Looks weird. Got the little mustache.
I think also, you asked Josh and I that question about, is the person good or bad? That depends on our values. You might not hold the same values. So if we, and I think for Josh now, I would assume I can say that we both, when we read things of essay, we tend to be like, I for the most part don't believe somebody's going to come out and say that I'm going to do all this work, go out to all this stuff. So yeah, I generally think in those things, I'm like, you're probably, if you're doing those things, what also it entails for you, the type of qualities that entails you to be able to do those things are bad qualities, and they probably they bleed out not just into that, but to everything you do in your life.
I get it, because I think about things like the movie American Gangster. Mm-hmm. The character that Denzel played, would you consider him a bad?
He was a bad guy.
Frank Lucas.
Yeah, he did things for the community, but he was a bad guy.
Yeah, look like Pablo,
I think he even called himself a bad guy.
Pablo Escobar. Yeah. He did a lot of great stuff for the communities, because a lot of those are marginalized communities for the government. Like, would you say he's a good guy? Because it goes back to the same principle.
You said, it's to who you ask. I could imagine.
Because some people in Medellin might.
Because they've seen what he's done positively for them.
But also people in the families there too.
That's seen the negative. No, but that's why I said it's kind of like, it's like a Robin Hood. It depends on who you're looking at him to say who he's doing good for.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because that thought came up to me this past week. How like the people who were so down for the Robin Hood story would not be down for him in real life. There's no, like, you just like, you wouldn't. You're like, wait. Like, because the people who are like often down for him are people that also like Blue Lives Matter. I'm like, just so you know, this dude would have been killing all the cops and taking the money.
That's what I'm saying. Robin Hood was good to someone, and bad to
some people. Yeah.
He's an anti-authoritarian
and so Vince McMahon, those are bad examples. But like a Robin Hood figure. That's where I get I don't want to be like
or like, because that's mythical.
But no, I put that in real life though.
But
that's
I
what I said.
but it's not mythical. It was a
well,
story.
yeah, but no, but like almost everything around him that's in popular culture, it's like
the true story is it was bad, but he did do stealing and murdering and he
but
did
that's like
he
what I'm
ran
saying. It's someone that only does credit card scam a bad person.
to see what they do. It could be, because like if you ruin someone's life,
that's
and that person has a family,
right,
and then their lives are ruined, like. Like we might see just
follow
like
the trail. I guess you got to. Well,
you might, like you throw a rock in the lake and you see like the ripples, but you got to follow the ripples all the way out.
They go far
because they keep on going all the way to the edges of the lake. So it's like
that's where all my pushback comes from. Because of course, Vince McMahon, Bill Cosby, Danny Masterson, we know they're bad people.
Yeah. Well, I just think that there's bad things that you do, and those bad things will overshadow.
Yes. Well, we know about the bad things that they did.
Yeah. Also, I think that that's still somewhat of a Western religion, Christianity based view, like that.
Wait, how much of it?
The bad overweighing the good, good overweighing the bad, because it's a scale, and it's like, are you going to heaven or not? I mean, there is the whole thing about bringing Jesus Christ into your heart as your Lord and Savior and all that, but a lot of it's like, did you do more good than your bad? Or did you do those bad things that no matter what, they're unredeemable?
Because we all feel like as a society there are unredeemable bad stuff to come from. And I feel like SA is one of them.
Yeah. Well,
anything with the child,
like violence
is one of
in
them.
that way. I think violence in that way,
children and that kind
are getting like, because I just
unforgivable.
imagine the mental destruction on
unforgivable,
somebody.
right? Okay, yeah, we can all.
That's kind of like the Lil Boom video, because you saw it, right?
Unforgivable.
Now you can't tell from the view because it's straight down. It's in the Walmart. You can't tell how
audio.
old the person is or anything like that.
Can't tell anything, but you see
he goes up against the back. It doesn't matter who it is,
and it's multiple.
Yeah,
like you were saying.
Yeah,
it is multiple.
And like, with that, you're like,
why? What's going on? I don't.
Yeah. Now there's a whole lot of who knows what's what nowhere, but like, and
seems funny.
I think when there's like
smoke, there's fire.
In that sense, like when you're like, dude,
this is
you
video,
did something.
like,
and if it's a kid, like there are things that happen to all three of us that we probably
I don't know if Josh has. You seen the video, Josh? Mm-mm. Okay, so basically, one of DJ Academic's real close confidants, he was actually bringing him into the fold, part of his Academics new podcast, all this stuff. He was actually trying to make money with this dude. He's a Florida rapper named Lil Boom. He's been a part of DJ Academic's crew for about 4 years at this point. He was just caught in what is it, Walmart?
Yeah.
And like Sean said, it's not hard to see what he's doing, but it's hard to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
He's harassing minors.
It's a top-down view, so you can see just
the actions itself.
Yeah, but there's no audio, there's no, so like
it's hard to tell because when
it looks like a prank video.
Because when interactions are happening, they're saying, "Oh, he just touched her," and it kind of don't look like he didn't touch her, and then the girl don't react, but then the girl reacts.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it don't look good regardless.
No. And it's one of the, I think those things, especially when you have proof and you can see the action of it, like I don't know where the person's mind is. Then it doesn't help that that was more than one time. Because generally anything like that, there's some type of, if like you have a reoccurring behavior, there's it's a habit.
But
there's
he
some
was
type
so
of habitual.
obvious to where patrons that were shopping were kind of like, what's going on, and trying to like get in between him and the females.
Yeah,
because it was this weird situation. Like he was coming up behind, say if there's a kiosk or whenever females looking at it, he would come up behind them and kind of like brush up against them.
I mean, like full, like his whole front was against her whole back.
Yeah, very just weird stuff. Yeah, very weird.
Well, like I think if you're getting multiple instances of getting caught on camera,
it's all on the same day.
Then it's like there's, like you said, there's smoke, there's fire. This is just what you're seeing on camera. Yep. How many instances are not reported? There's no evidence of it. So I think it's just.
Now I'm not linking what I'm going to say as these two things are the same. They're not the same. SA or like anything like that is not the same as a prank. But the prank world, no, but I'm just saying but the prank world, I don't understand why more people can't be pressed, sued, whatever it is, for pranks.
I feel like they
Because
can. I
it
think people
seems
just
to
don't
me like
sue them.
the ones where people like they touch you and stuff. I'm like, isn't that also
That's-
assault?
yeah, that's
it is
assault.
right?
Any unwanted contact is assault.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
like
But when you see it, are they blurred or are they on camera? Because if they're on camera,
well, that's mean they got the
They
they
gave
gave it the
permission.
okay.
yeah, because if it's
yeah.
staged, that's different. But I don't know how
Yeah.
many of these.
it's
things
hard
there's
to
just
tell.
so much content.
Yeah.
that-
When
It
I
is
see
just-
videos, I'm
exactly,
like,
there's
if
just so
someone's
much content.
if someone's not blurred, I'm like, they're in on this, or they're okay with it.
Now, again, not the same underage girl, not the same. But I think a lot of those videos really don't give a good. Like, I think that teaches people really bad behaviors that seem to be okay because they get clicks or laughs or whatever. And like, I don't get it. Maybe it's because of my age. I don't know. I don't
We're
find
talking about like the neon kids type shit.
Any-
right?
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I think
Any of that
even
stuff.
whether it's staged or not, like it promotes like irresponsible behavior, and
Yeah.
people are going to go and think that's like either regular or it's okay because it's with the intention of being funny, and people are just kind of like it's skewing their worldview of
I
like
gotta give backlash.
That's fine.
Is that a problem?
I think so.
Yeah.
No. I know how you are saying it's a problem, but my question, I got to be more specific now.
Good.
How much different is that than media has been traditional? Is it different than movies? Is it different than television?
But that's if okay. So again, if it's scripted or not, I'm going off the idea that these are all not scripted. I'm going off it. So let's just play off that idea that these are random people being
assaulted.
in some way. I mean, I know it's a high word, assaulted, but in some way bothered. Like bothered. Let's just say like that. If that's the case, then it's not the same as a movie because in the movie you're like
It's all
they're all scripted and jobs and they're shaking hand. Like you're not setting somebody. It's not like when ideally people don't watch movies and go, this is the real world. But I feel like the other things are like, this is the real world. That's somebody at a, whatever, Home Depot getting.
So then my question is these prank videos any or at all different than, say, Jackass, CKY2K?
No. But I remember CKY2K and Jackass. I also thought, while it was funny, I was like young and thought it was funny. I remember at a young age being like, isn't this kind of fucked? Like some of them, especially when they had the TV show, I was like, yo, this is actually kind of fucked up. Like you're fucking with people's lives. Like, and I remember watching people like get hurt because remember there was that whole thing. People were trying to remake CKY stuff, putting themselves in the ER and stuff like that.
But to me, I felt like that was even more authentic than. I don't think any of the stuff on YouTube is real. I think it's all everyone's in on it.
But the thing, like
I know
get
what you're talking about. But
I get that you have decided in your head that, but I'll tell you, like the majority of people believe the internet as a real life thing.
I get that.
Well, I think too, whether it's unscripted or not, I think it has the same effect on the viewer. It doesn't matter if it's scripted or not, but it's like people will like you guys said, it's just decided. It's like, oh, okay, this is real. Whether it's
scripted or not,
it's like, oh, this is kind of like
So should we have limitations on
normalizes that
entertainment?
stuff. I think because of its like freedom of individual freedoms and stuff, people will post shit
What
no
they
matter
want,
what it is, whether it's like looked down upon or not. But like people like Neon stuff, like that's not
it's not cool.
good content.
No.
It
But
gets
it
clicks,
obviously
doesn't mean it's
is
like-
because
it's good content in that it gets clicks, but it's not
Because no
it's
one
not
wants
quality
that shit to happen to them, but they want to watch it happen to somebody else, and that's like a weird thing.
that's a movie to me. Nobody wants to be a gangster, but they want to watch a gangster movie. No?
But that's like
That's exactly
completely
the same
well,
thing.
It's not exactly because this is completely like you even
Document Blow. This is a real
versus,
story.
I understand
versus
what you're
fiction
saying.
versus
I
like
know, and I'm trying to put it into
I understand what you're saying. I also know that you're picking movies based on true stories.
I have to.
Like Blow or American Gangster
have to.
or anything like that. So like in some of those, but like I don't know. Like you watch Casino movie.
I'm sure people thought that was real. Or
Well, it
based
is.
off-
I mean,
it is based
it is
on-
based on real things, right?
So do we take that? Should that not
But that's
be?
also not good. And then, like maybe 6 episodes ago, Josh was saying, and we were talking about the difference between U.S. media and UK media, and how UK is like show sex. We don't. They're like whatever about it, And it's
violence
very
is-
like sex there too is also not like some
It's
like
not taboo.
but it's also not like dressed up. It's like regular people sex, like bed sex, not craziness. But they don't show guns like we do. And definitely
They
we
definitely don't got them on the streets like we do either.
But I mean, like, just violence. Like PG-13 violence now is way more violent than PG-13 violence back when we were like younger.
Do you think so?
100%. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's all they gotta do is make sure there's no blood or pull away at the moment when the neck snaps, But
Or like Kill Bill,
less
like
curse
they show it in black and white so you can't see all the blood. It's
And I think it's least curse words.
so you get one F word in a.
Yeah, it's like you're limited.
I don't know why I said
you could
F.
show a boob.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like you're limited.
But,
So-
But it's like you could show 100 people die, but you could show like one boob. So that kind of like
It's wild.
goes to tell you.
So, but that's what my question is: should we be having some stricter guidelines on entertainment?
I mean,
They're there. Like
That's what
there's also
already
probably
there,
a
but-
conversation to be had there.
that could possibly be true too.
well,
you
but
know-
it's just like the glorification of violence. Like
Yeah.
they just show the act, but they don't show, like you said, they don't show the ripples of anything because it's for entertainment, but like
Of course, you
that
don't see the
just
real,
normalizes stuff.
But that's why it's
And you're not seeing the effect on it.
entertainment.
And I think though, like like you don't see the effect of how these things are
Played out.
5 years, 10 years, 20 years on the brain. 30, a whole lifetime of watching these kind of things. Back to the streamers and things like that. They're young, and they have a young audience, and that to me is the area where, I don't know how you like in a free country, like for a free country, I think sometimes to work, everyone would have to have the same level of morals, and they don't. And like that's why it was all in God we trust, because the idea was like, let's get everybody into the same morals.
Christian-based morality.
But Christian-based, sorry, I'm gonna stop myself there. I was gonna say, I think Christian-based morality is.
Yeah, no, because I agree with you, but then I also adamantly have to disagree because I have to say like we shouldn't be able to
Be able to what?
limit entertainment.
Well, I'm not saying limit, but okay, let's go with that. We don't limit. Then we all have to be, and you would have to be okay with the fact that there are, like, in either side, there's going to be repercussions. No matter what, you can't take away bad repercussions. That's just it. I think on each side, you have to decide which ones you want to live with. And I think on the side right now that we're looking at is a lot of youth, watching youth not have any rules for money. Like and everything's about getting the dollar, right?
That's why they're so big, because all these little, it's like who had money when we were kids? Like who are we looking up? Like skateboarders or something? You know?
No, we was like rappers.
Okay, so yeah,
pop stars,
to me it's
movie
almost
stars.
no different. Like those are their versions of those people. They display their entertainment a little bit differently, but to me it's like the lure is exactly the same. Like, look at what they do. I want to be able to do this and make money.
I think the big difference is like these are like when we were growing up, like these are like movie stars, celebrities, musicians, like they're icons, untouchable, like kind of like you're never going to meet these people, you're never going to see these people in real life. Whereas like streamers and stuff, there's a lot of like Nepo babies and stuff out there, people who come from money, but these are like generally people view these as like, oh, these are like everyday people. Like this could be my friend. So like they're living vicariously through them. And that's kind of like it's like viewed as an extension of like
I think we were the
everyday
gateway
reality
to there from the 2 points you just mentioned. I think because we had the MySpace, and then we had the cool people on MySpace that technically weren't really famous, but to us, they're the most famous shit in the world because they have 100,000 friends on MySpace. You know what I mean? The Tila Tequilas, the Forbidden.
They're still there. It's just like not
their
so much.
stories are sad though.
Their stories are very sad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Forbidden. Like,
Tila Tequilas is very sad. I don't know about Forbidden.
I think she like
Tila Tequila is like super
died.
Jesused out right now because she's been through it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
So is Black China.
there's still stuff like there's still like micro niche like social media celebrities and stuff. Like when I was hanging out with Grace and Michelle last night, like shout out, like they were talking about this girl that they know that's kind of like somewhat in their circle. Like they hung out with her and stuff, but then they're like talk about her in a certain way, but she's got like 7,000 followers or something. It's not a lot. So there are people, like there's still people out there. It's just because because everybody's connected now. Like
stuff, yeah.
Not everybody was on MySpace, not everybody. But so we had those people, those friends. They had a lot of friends,
But still,
Like,
it's only the big ones that are getting big though right now. Like the neons, it's only like there's certain waves. Of
no,
like,
but it's like these are still everyday people. It's like what we're doing. It's like we could get like so we it's.
That's
I think
the allure.
that's
the allure.
because there's like an allure of we can do what they're doing, whereas like movie stars, like we're not looking at movies and be like, oh, we could be an actor.
I don't think about acting, but we kind of were privy with music. I feel like we had things around us that was like, this is obtainable.
I think back then it was easier in thought to be obtainable than now for music. Music seems so far away, but being a personality now seems like this attainable thing. Yeah. But I don't think I ever thought that I was going to be Brad Pitt.
Not like,
or like when I was or like even like I remember I was in love with Robin Williams as a little kid, but I was like, I want to be like him. And then you get the realization and you're like, I'm lacking a lot of things there. Plus, like you
said, we don't have stars like that. Like,
I think I don't know about the younger age. I think we still do.
But that's what I mean by like, what is who is the new Brad Pitt?
What would you want your kid to watch?
Chalamet?
If you had a kid, like what would you be okay with your kid watching?
Anything.
Really? You'd be okay with your kid watching everything?
The way I think of it, it's like, okay, what didn't our parents want us to watch?
I mean, I wasn't allowed to watch. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Jerry. I wasn't allowed to watch Married with Children.
There's things, you know what I mean? But when you think about it in hindsight, it's not that bad. It just may be a little bit progressive for someone out of that time.
I don't know.
You don't.
I think if you have somebody there to explain things that you don't understand, it's okay. But I think if you have a kid that's just eating up all of those videos of like Neon or whatever, and there's no one saying don't do that. Don't be like
I'm
that
obviously
person.
thinking you have a loving household though. Like
I'm just
I think that's a minority though. Like you would want your kid to be watching Neon.
I don't think I would personally have a problem with it, because on the flip side, I would be probably trying to tell my kid what's right or not. Entertainment, get entertained. Like that'd be like my parent when I was 10 or 11, be like, "Don't watch Jackass." I'm gonna watch Jackass. I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna crash in a shopping cart down the street.
When you say restricting stuff and like, it's just like abstaining, like the straight edge kids who we knew in
it's there. You
in
can't
high school.
Take it away.
No, you just like, but you're like you're educating them. When you restrict something, it has that much more. Allure and stuff, like, because this is forbidden. When something's forbidden, you're drawn that more to that. Whereas like, let them watch it, but it's like you got to tell them like,
but that's what I'm saying. When I think about it, you could watch whatever, but I'm gonna have a relationship with you that I'm gonna try to teach you right and wrong. No, this is entertainment. No, you shouldn't be doing this. I get what you're saying, because that is a wishful way of thinking, because not everyone could be privy to that.
Well, and I also like whatever somebody is ingesting via media. I mean, you got to understand, like, that's putting literally a print on their brain. So, like, I just think for myself, I would be more than just saying to them, like, oh, hey, I saw you were watching Neon, and you probably shouldn't watch that. Like, or like,
when's the first time you watched Kids? Or anything? Oh,
I was like in my teens, dude. I didn't watch anything like gnarly until like, my parents had the lockdown and stuff. The only thing I watched when I was really young was White Man Can't Jump. It was like when it came out.
I think too, you have to think about the context of like, you're saying like, you're comparing how if you have kids, how they're growing up compared to how you grew up. That's completely different environment. Like you have to turn on the TV and you watch. This is like, you could pull out your phone and you're ingesting anything all the time, anything you want. I don't think we have a handle of like, we barely have a handle of like how we, take in media now. Like we don't have control of that. And so like, I think what we learned, you can apply some of the stuff, but it's a completely different game than like.
So then what do you do?
I think you educate in a way that, I mean, like Josh said, if you tell somebody don't do it, it only gives them more desire probably to do that thing. I think like what you were saying is like, it's got to be education, but it has to, not passive. It's got to be active. It's got to be pro.
A parent, yeah.
But I mean, it's like, I wouldn't be waiting until my son or daughter were watching those things to bring up the conversation. I'd be bringing up the conversation like, hey, there's some like, I don't know how you speak to kids because you can't say dumbass, but like, the kid, but like, this is not a good, these aren't good qualities to be a person. So,
Well, I'd say, look, like if you give a kid your kid's like 8, you give them an iPad. Are you going to give them with no parental controls on it on their
Not at 8.
Netflix?
Of course,
and-
they'd have some kind of parental
Yeah.
controls.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like so you will like it will be restricted in some way.
But I
Like
was also
it's going to be
raised-
there. Like they can if they
Yeah,
really want to
yeah.
find it, they can find it. But
I was also raised though where my parents were telling me the music I listened to was devil music. And it was Christian bands. So like, you know what I mean? I understand when you don't understand something, the mentality you can have towards it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to necessarily be, like I said, so restrictive to the point to where it's like you're now ostracized from your immediate group of people that you're around your age. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't think I don't think you want to have your kid be removed from their society because kids need their
So I'm saying,
connections.
so if it's something that they're into,
Yeah.
you could be into it. I'm going to teach you maybe why you shouldn't replicate stuff like that, but I can't really tell you what you can't be into. It's you. You're the one into it.
well, you're
You
a parent,
can,
so you
though.
can. Like that's the
Like,
whole point.
if-
you can say something, but that doesn't have any bearing on what they're going to do.
It does.
I think it does.
a bit.
It
I think
very
it does.
much so.
Especially if your kid's hanging out with a lot of like the difference. I think, or people will know the difference between when their kids hang out with better people that are more uplifting or positive, effects on their child, or negative effects on their child. So like, I think
No, I get
if your
that,
kid's
but
like,
if you are friends, if your mom and dad didn't like you hanging around with Johnny, but Johnny was literally your best friend.
Well,
whatever your parents are going
my
to
mom
say,
didn't want me to hang out with Sean because we got caught smoking weed that one time,
This
and
is
we were
true.
not even like young, but like my parents demonized weed
yeah,
very much
was
so.
bad.
But then it's like it like
But you could understand why they could have that notion, right? And then you
Yeah,
could
but-
understand why that notion could be wrong.
well,
right?
but that's like we were young adults already, and that it's
You
different
live-
than like
yeah,
at a
yeah.
young age. Like she like
I think 12
eventually
is
came
about-
to realize like I'm still hanging out with him. Like I'm like he's part of my life. I'm not going to get rid of him. But it's like because of we were saying
That
like one actually got caught one time, and it's like he's a fucking drug addict because it's like we're smoking weed in the front yard. Like
and that's perception to who it was.
But my parents definitely were like, "Hey, I don't want you to hang out with that person." And sometimes I listened because I could see it. Sometimes I didn't.
That's more what it's
mean,
like. It's you,
But
your parents really
But
aren't.
the older I got, the more my discernment grew, and that came a bit from my parents.
Well, that came from the parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
think that's where the part is. Like you can't. Some parents do let their kids just do whatever.
We all know those kids.
Exactly. Exactly, man.
You always want to go to that kid's house.
But you never actually want to hang out with them
Not really.
long term.
Not doing anything dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. That's a short term relationship in the end. But I mean, kind of on the topic, but not like you said. Like, were there things that your parents didn't let you watch? What did you watch as a kid? Like favorite?
I was able to have a TV in my room, so I had the Gambit.
Do you have favorite cartoons?
Favorite cartoon for me was, it depends. So,
And did you have one that your parents didn't let you watch either? Also,
I mean, when South Park came out, wasn't supposed to watch that, but I did. Jerry Springer, Maury, wasn't supposed to watch that.
Maury.
Wild on E, wasn't supposed to watch that. Watch that.
oh wow, I forgot that.
All the spring break stuff on MTV, wasn't supposed to watch that. Watch that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I've always been like, okay, you don't understand what's going on, but it's not bad. So it's just gonna
it's
happen.
the little kid telling parents it's not bad.
Yeah, it's
fine.
not bad.
Well, you don't understand.
It's just ecstasy. It's not
you
bad.
don't understand.
This one's not. This one's fine. This one has.
Well, yeah.
Well,
heroin.
look 10 years later down the road. Now parents are like, what's that mushroom called? I think I
Oh my
wanna
god,
eat
it is pretty
I think I
wild.
want to eat it, Johnny.
It's gonna make you find God.
Well, what were your favorite cartoons?
My
growing
favorite
up?
cartoon was Hey Arnold, All Real Monsters, Angry Beavers, Rugrats,
I never did the Angry Beavers.
They were a little funny. I watched them.
Cat
It was,
Dog. It was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Cat Dog and Angry Beavers. I feel like I missed those two.
There's a little above. They were a little bit. I watched them, but like it was like a couple of years after I stopped
Yep.
exclusively watching cartoons.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh, I watched
Rocco.
Rocco's. I fuck with Rocco.
Rocco's.
That's a
like
staple,
Heifer.
man.
Turn the page. Wash your hands. Turn the page.
Spunky.
Ren and Stimpy was a little before my time, but I watched it.
I
wasn't supposed to watch that. Watch that.
Do you remember the episode when they go into space?
Of course, he's like wearing the suit and his eyes are like bulging out. Of his head.
He's like licking the piece of soap to try to eat it. It's all they have and stuff. Dude,
Stampy, you idiot.
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
That was a
I wasn't
wild
supposed to
show.
watch that. Watch that.
Well, but that was like so subversive in that it was a cartoon show for adults, but it was marketed towards kids. But like even adults didn't know, like it was necessarily bad because it was just like wacky
That's what I
shit
feel
going
prank
on.
videos are. It's not necessarily bad.
Yo,
just some wacky shit going
my
on.
parents, when I would watch Ren and Stimpy and my parents were up watching,
dude,
they'd be like, turn that off. I remember,
course.
yeah, oh yeah, like that was a hard
You cannot
no.
watch that.
And you know what's crazy is
Simpsons is a maybe.
because of Ren and Stimpy, I was able to watch The Simpsons because my mom was like, actually, The Simpsons isn't as
not
bad
bad.
as the Ren and Stimpy.
The Simpsons is like pretty wholesome, I'd
But
say.
that's what I'm saying. When I think back on when I was adolescent, there was so many things that I was into that my parents had no idea about, so they just demonized it.
That's usually how it is, I guess.
And I didn't look at them as being bad parents, and I also didn't look at them as knowing what they were talking about. and that subject in that thing.
My parents were never home, so I could watch whatever, but I didn't.
Do you have
watched-
favorites?
I mean, yeah, like Ren and Stimpy, Our Real Monsters, Rocko's Modern Life. Grew up on Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Watched some Gargoyles, some
Yeah. That's,
Batman animated series,
Which
is
is-
still one of the best I think ever.
yeah. Both.
X-Men.
Ooh.
They're redoing
I know,
that, which
yeah.
is
See,
which
'cause
is
I know
hype.
everything by channels. You're naming like Fox right now.
Yeah.
Fox and Nickelodeon pretty much grew up on
And then
that.
Yeah.
WB had like
Oh, Animaniacs.
Animaniacs, Pinky.
I watched
Yeah, what was it, Tiny Toons?
Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons.
Yeah.
I watched actually a lot of like
Muppet
I will
Babies?
still
Dude,
randomly watch
love Muppet Babies.
Looney Tunes, like the old episodes because
Oh,
that's on
yeah,
like
yeah,
Netflix
yeah.
or whatever.
Those are
I'll just, like,
classics.
let them go on.
Yeah.
Um,
Those are some good ones.
I mean, like there was like
Your favorite live action kid
Hey
show?
Dude.
Hey Dude was
That's
fire.
that's why I'm asking a live action.
know.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at
Hey,
it, like
hey
look
Dude,
at
Hey
Roundhouse.
look at Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Like,
That started
if you
it,
look
yeah.
at that though, like I wouldn't say that those were real life issues, but like Zach Morris was a piece of shit.
He was just a womanizer and didn't care about shit. And
Jesse was on them pills.
them pills, them caffeine pills, I can't stop.
I can't stop.
Like, because if you look at it,
Lisa Turtle.
well, if you look at those, like it was the people of color on that show were kind of like the moral guidelines. They never really did anything that was that bad compared
Lisa,
to like
well,
Le-
she
Lisa
couldn't.
and Slater. Yeah, Lisa had the protective parents, but Lisa and Slater were like they
Did
never
Slater
did
have
anything really.
parents?
He was the
Huh,
military dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
the military
yeah.
brat.
So he was kind of like the one like where Zach had to
Right.
sway him into doing the bad shit.
Zach
Didn't
was
he
just
get
able to be-
broken down one episode where
They
like
all did. I felt.
yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like didn't Zach's like dad not care about him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why he was.
Yeah,
just
that's why
wilding
he
out.
was-
That's why he.
You're right, actually, man. They really were pretty point on like this is what would happen to that kid
Zach
if
is a
their
nepo
parents were
baby.
like this.
Fucking Fresh Prince kind of too.
Yeah.
It's kind of accurate. Like,
I think Fresh Prince and Saved by the Bell
did you
were
Boy
like
Meets World.
oh yeah.
Oh, I watched Boy Meets World.
Boy
I
Meets
actually,
World
I
was
went to,
fire.
I went to go see tapings of that back.
Fire.
in the day.
Really?
I remember I saw the episode, like the filming of the episode
Sean
where
Hunter?
Sean actually hooked up with Angela
Well,
for the
Angela,
first
I was
time.
going to say, like, remember that interracial shit?
Yeah. Well, I heard like later on, this is years later, that Sean was actually, he was a good guy, writer strong, I believe. He was he was a good guy, and Corey Matthews,
Was the-
he's a fucking
Because he's the
jerk.
nepo,
He's like a bigot.
he's a nepo
Yeah.
baby. Because his brother is Ben Savage.
I heard Ben Savage ain't.
Wait, the Savages
Doesn't-
are shitty?
I
Like-
think so. I heard so.
I mean, going on Trace thing, like they've. I don't want to say that they're shitty people, but they've had like complaints about them from staff and stuff. Like Angela,
him too?
Angela said that Corey Matthews was a dickhead,
I mean, Topanga never said shit, but she
and
wouldn't.
I think Will.
Topanga's got the kicks, man. She's
Oh no, Topanga was like
Topanga's dialed
she was.
in.
I think she was problematic as an actor to the other to Angela and stuff on the
Really?
show, but she acknowledged that later. Like she's like,
Oh, so
yeah,
she was.
I was not like a good person or something, or was
Supposedly
not a
Urkel
good.
was hard to work with.
Yeah, I heard that one where like he was really hard to work with. Yeah, really hard to work with.
I wonder if I feel like because
And
Kelly
he wasn't even written onto the show.
wasn't Kelly
I know,
Kapowski was
wild.
like she came from
Tiffany
like
Amber Thiessen.
yeah she came from like on the show like she like came from like
Where
I don't know
did-
if there's
yeah,
to
what
say
was
in
her
a broken home, but
background?
like she was like a sweet girl, the cheerleader, but she I don't know exactly. She
And what was
kind of like-
Screech's background?
I don't think he had a background.
Right? He was just like the resident nerd.
Yeah, and then he became the girl gone wild, dude, and then he got sunk for that because he was a little handy.
Because he made the Dustin Diamond ding-a-ling.
Oh, he had the sex tape or something like that.
Dude. Yeah.
I mean, but that like the Screech stigma following for the rest of his
Whole
life. And like,
life.
you know, like if you're constantly the punching bag, so then he was like kind of like, I think, acting out, kind of being like, okay, if people think I'm a piece of shit, then I'll be a piece of shit.
Damn. It's tough for them. I feel bad for them.
Well, that's like child actors, you know, like that sort
That's
of like
rough.
thing sticks with you. Like that's why there's so.
Why do you think it's so
few-
tough for them? Is it just because you don't know reality?
Well, you're portraying a false reality, and
All
then
the
you're
time.
held to a different standard than your peer group and your friends, because
You're rewarded for
You're-
bad.
your public persona becomes. I think it's hard at a young age to separate like reality and fiction.
That's crazy, dude. You said you went to tapings. Did either of you want to be actors as a kid?
I did.
I wanted to.
You wanted to?
I wanted
yeah.
to. I even took like acting classes, like
How
a
long?
couple, just a few, because I was like, you had to learn like improv and stuff, and I was never like a theater kid. I was very shy. Like I was like, I don't want to do this in front of people.
What was your gonna break? Your break gonna be like? Who did you see? You're like, I could do this. Like,
No,
I'm
it was
gonna
just
be on
like,
the big
oh,
screen.
like I want to be like kid actors in commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew,
Yeah.
like you can make a lot of money off of that. And then if you're like, because I was like I was 5'8" in 6th grade. I was tall.
tall.
Kid.
Oh shit!
So I would have been like, I could have been like on these roles and stuff like that, because there's still no Asians in showbiz, you know. So like in the last 5 years, yeah, but like growing up, there was no like John Cho from well, you saw Brothers Soon, like John Cho. He's an OG like
I
Asian
watched
actor.
it.
You watched it?
I binged it the day.
Oh, so you liked it or you hated it?
Conflicted.
What part?
You're definitely entertained though.
I watched the whole thing in a
Dude,
day.
hella
What did you think
entertaining.
about the fight choreography?
One of the better parts.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way they made what was the brother in America's name?
I forget already.
Yeah, I didn't like.
Well, he was annoying.
I
He's whiny.
hated him. I wanted to sock him the whole show.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, just
Yeah.
toughen up for the
Well,
family, bruv.
Also, like the fourth time he made the same mistake, I'm like,
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, yo,
Stop being a rat.
What the hell? But then I was like, maybe he's playing all of this.
He was the only part I didn't like. I loved the whole show.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
I love the brother, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that's
He was
me.
so dope.
That's me. I feel like exterior, I'm the killer, but inside, I'm a baker.
Big softy. Yeah. Well, that's what I liked. I liked the portrayal of masculinity in that. Like somebody who's raised up, and I think that's like for Asian men growing up, like we're kind of told to not be emotional and stuff, like, but we're all like
Men in
everybody.
general.
Yeah, men in general. But then you like have these things like that are traditionally viewed as like feminine or something, but it's like if you enjoy doing it, like just fucking do it, you know?
Baking isn't. I don't think of. I get it where it comes
Oh
from.
yeah, you know where it comes
I
from.
know
But
where it
like,
comes
you know,
from.
like it's great. It's a very soothing thing. And like I feel like baking, especially because you're not doing that for yourself.
Best baker I know is a man.
Yeah.
Matt. It is a funny man.
But it's like
Dude, the whole churro part.
baking is like, yeah, especially you have that
Yeah,
connection.
dude, I was
He's-
dying.
He's not trying to replicate it.
He
looks like
bites
just
it,
turkey.
just like the little like birds thing.
Yeah, no, it was like I really liked it. I just didn't like the PG-13ness of it. I wished it was R,
It was R.
more R. Because to me, it had that like because of him, it had that like 9 o'clock WB slot feel. Like
Well,
the
yeah,
One Tree Hill.
I think it was
type of
because like
Vampire Diaries.
I really liked how it was like a whole Asian cast, and it wasn't like people
was
you
dope
really
as fuck,
knew.
yeah.
But it's like, oh, they still. I understand why they did it to keep that like the
Yeah,
general
yeah.
appeal for like everyone.
Why-
to, like,
yeah, I understood it, but that's the only part I didn't like. Because I was like, dude, if they just would have went more Ayakuza on that shit, it would have been dope.
Made
as
me want to
fuck.
learn some like Mandarin or something though.
Facts, dude. It made me really want to do kung fu hard.
I feel like a second one.
Well, they
ended
have
it.
to. She's going to go and take over the triad.
And the dude that's still in jail, can't trust him.
who's in jail?
The rat, the one who was like, if you kill the dad, I'll tell you everything.
That's Frank something or like
The dude that kept on telling the story about eating cabbage or some shit.
he's like eating tea leaves.
Tea
'cause,
leaves,
like,
yeah, that
if
guy.
you find
They set it up so like you're like this dude He said he'll give you all the deep.
And I didn't like how it was obvious Grace was a fucking mole.
Yeah, because
Like,
she came out of nowhere.
Frisbee to the head perfectly with speed. I'm like,
I just knew.
ninja stars.
I like. There's a
And
couple.
she did.
There was a couple. Like maybe the second episode. I was like, she just randomly magically appeared in this class. She wasn't in the class before.
And she just sits next to him and say, hey, dude. Oh, like, hi.
Yeah, she was
And
sus.
just took total
She was sus.
affinity to him
But-
off the back.
It was dope that they allowed like that character to get murked. That fight scene was dope too.
She had to get murked, and she had to get murked by her.
Dude,
Yeah, the sister
the
was
meat
dope.
hook into the mouth. I was like,
She had to get murked by Homegirl. Homegirl was tough,
She was
too. I
dope.
wish she had some more lines.
yeah, but she'll be
Oh
back.
yeah. She was kind of like the silent. But she's gonna
the
be the right
knives.
hand of.
She has to, yeah.
She got those knives.
Yeah, Homeboy the brother, though, that's me, dude. I feel him.
Oh, you're that guy.
You're that guy?
Having to
Okay.
appease the family and hold it down.
Yeah, same thing. You're pretty much the same thing. I thought the Korean friend was funny too. Like
He was
the
cool.
best friend.
KJ or whatever.
But it's like,
KT or
dude,
whatever.
that like thing where he like
His thumbs.
Yeah. Or dude, the
golf balls?
Oh, that was brutal.
And he was still down because he was like, he was a ride or die.
Yeah, but he wasn't a rat. He wasn't a rat. See, like the only was the main character. He was the rat. I was like, but yeah, that the scene at the driving range, that was, and the camera angles, how it like that drone,
How it drones in.
it almost looked like it went drone shot to like
Real,
handheld.
like,
they grab
handheld.
them. That's what. Yeah, like those. Have you ever seen those rigs? The drone has handles, and so they fly it by, and
Oh,
the person
shit.
grabs it.
Then it
and they
gets
keep on
Steadicam,
going.
but a little rough.
And then they're able to let it go again.
That's now who did that? That movie Ambulance was shot a lot on drone.
Did you watch
Michael
that?
Bay. I did just because to see how it was shot.
Michael Bay.
That was a Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Does everything
Yeah.
blowing up?
Everything blown up, but it was crazy.
flares.
All the drone footy was nuts.
Do you have any feels about the Oscars? Talking about movies right now.
That's good.
I don't know anything
Overrated.
about anything. Overrated in general.
Oscars are overrated.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you think the Oscars are overrated?
Hollywood, the golden age of cinema is gone.
Well, that golden age is like the 30s or something. So
I know,
I
but that's what I
think
mean. We so far from it that the Oscars being like the staple of like awards and entertainment shouldn't be.
Do you think awards are important anymore? In those type of settings, Oscars, Emmys, Grammys.
Sure.
Well, the whole thing with
think
like,
so.
I don't know if it's the same with the Grammys, but the Oscars is the Academy. So this is people
Same thing
in
with
the
Grammys.
business voting for
Grammys is voted by people in the business.
So
Yeah.
when you guys say in the business, how does that work? Is it like in sports where you have to have like you get chosen to be a vote for like MVP?
Wait, what? Say,
So like in sports, like when they pick the MVP of the year, like random people in the business, like reporters.
basically, for
So-
the Grammys, they send out basically like a register, and if you want to be on the register, like if you have credits in the fiscal year, you are allowed to vote. So then you can participate.
And that
in-
could be like producer, engineer, anything. Is it the same thing for Oscars? Then you could
I
be
would
like
assume
a
it'd have to be.
like a
Yeah, I don't think it's like
Cameraman.
the grips or something, but like like DPs, camera people,
writers.
writers,
that was the big thing
producers,
for music too, 'cause
directors.
it was like a lot of people don't sign up and don't vote, just like, you know what I mean. So they're like the same people win because the same people that are voting every year.
When they do that, I'm guessing they don't take a poll of that person's general preferences, right?
Of course not. That's
So then knowing that and knowing like the variables or like that, do the awards really matter when you have
it
no
still
idea?
matters, I guess. In your, okay, so if we were, musicians and we did get a Grammy, that one accolade garners you $50,000 extra per show, just because you have it.
Yeah, it helps.
So
it
it
helps.
does.
It helps
It-
it helps you to get contracts
yeah,
and
it
future
helps.
things. Like it's a prestige thing for sure.
It helps. Like,
Yeah, there's no way it doesn't. There's no way it doesn't.
There's no way it doesn't. Now, is it important? That's
I think it is. Like I don't think a lot of people don't drive for it or strive for it, but it's like, oh, if you get it, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like Cillian Murphy, I don't think he doesn't make movies to get
get
Oscar
it.
recognition. He's making it for like the craft and everything. Did you ever see Oppenheimer?
No, was it good? Was it worth the watch?
No, but I'm watching
You didn't see it?
Oppenheimer.
It's
No.
coming on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Oppenheimer, and I'm gonna watch the
Barbie.
Rose or the flower. What's the
Flower Moon Child.
the
Leo
Killers
one.
of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I'm watching both those.
I
want to
watch that
I
one.
got time set up for 3-hour movies.
Definitely want to see Killers of the Flower Moon. Watch
No,
it,
but I
good
haven't watched. I haven't watched Barbie either.
I think you should watch Barbie.
I like watching movies at home because it's free. And
It's not free.
well, it's freer than
It's less
theaters.
expensive.
Yeah.
Not if you have that AMC Stubs.
I don't think there's
membership.
an AMC in anywhere around me.
Really?
I think it's like down far. Yeah. But so like then when it comes to like just kind of like how we were talking about the All-Star team, it's votes and it has absolutely nothing to do with the actual accolades of a film. So in what I'm pointing towards is like Barbie was the #1 grossing film of 2023, and the face of that movie is Margot Robbie,
and
and
Greta,
the hype.
an
But I was going to
extension,
say, and then the hype name is Greta Gerwig,
Gerwig.
and they're not nominated for the #1 movie. Those kind of things is like, that's why I ask, does it even matter? Do these awards even matter when like it's like
It doesn't
you're
matter
clearly
for
not
the
awarding the best public perception movie of the year?
Yeah, not public perception.
Well, because I think that comes down to like, I think a lot of just because these people are in the industry, I don't think they're affected by like societal beliefs and shifts and perception, just like the average person. And it's like, well, the whole thing was that they were not nominated, but like, not to say that he wasn't good in it, but like Ryan Gosling was nominated, and I think he spoke out too, saying that like this is great to get this recognition, but like they were the face of the movie and they're not.
Yeah.
And I think it's also there's something. It's not an art house flick, or it's not incredibly artistic. Not to say it wasn't, because it had a lot of great things going for it, but I think these the films that appeal to the general audience, they almost never get nominated for like best movie or something.
If Toy Story won when it came out for best film of the year,
yeah, it's never those things don't get nominated, even if it is like the highest grossing thing.
It's animated, but it can't just have it. You know what I mean?
Did you have because you watch I think more movies probably than Trey and I. Did you have a best movie of 2023? Because I remember we talked about it like a couple episodes ago, but now talking about now with the Oscars,
up for best film? Because I know the Grammys are in 2 weeks, so I'm holding out for Travis Scott.
Who's nominated for best film?
It was Oppenheimer and Barbie out here. I know that Barbie didn't get nominated in Europe for Film of the Year, but Oppenheimer did.
Well, because I mean, I thought Barbie was great and Oppenheimer was great. I think it was actually better to see. I don't think either of them you had to see them in theaters, but it was great to see Barbie in theaters versus Oppenheimer. Like, people were making a big thing about the explosion, and that was like that wasn't even the thing. Like, there was one big
nuclear
explosion.
explosion.
Yeah, I was like, I liked it because like I actually sat in those chairs that recline. That was necessary because like I couldn't
How
see.
long was
it was
that
like a 3-hour movie, wasn't it?
So, yeah, 3 hours. So this is kind of funny because I don't know most of these movies.
probably
Best
never heard of
Picture, American Fiction,
I heard that. I actually really want to see that.
Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers.
Oh, I heard Holdovers is really good. Paul Giamatti. Can't hate on Paul Giamatti.
I do love Paul Giamatti. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Want to see that.
Maestro.
Oh, that's
the one with Bradley Cooper's
that's-
got a fake nose.
He
Oh,
is
yeah.
portraying
He got flack for that.
American
I know, that's why it was the
composer.
joke. Everyone's been making fun of his
I think it's funny that you get flack for that.
for portraying a character,
Yeah.
for like wearing your wardrobe.
Because at what point then
But I guess
what point does a wardrobe
hire a You know what I'm gonna say?
Oppenheimer next, then Past Lives,
Oh, I heard that one was really good.
Poor Things,
Ooh,
That's the one you saw. And
yeah,
said
that
really
one
good.
was maybe one of my favorites.
and The Zone
Was
of
it all black and
Interest.
white?
Oh, Leonard Bernstein. Yeah, Leonard Bernstein's the
Poor Things wasn't all black and white, right?
No.
Okay.
But I heard the first bit was shot on film.
Film, they go back and forth, right?
I think it's the first part because
okay.
you can kind of tell.
Was a lot of that one continuous shot, or okay? Because who does that? Wes Anderson?
No, that's like the guy who did like, was it Sam
Shawn-
Mendes?
Okay.
Isn't it? But like that's a different genre. Like, but he does a lot of like one shots and stuff.
Because I know Shaun of the Dead has that, like the intro is like the crazy one shot
Oh yeah,
where like the walking scene and
I love a good one shot.
yeah, you know where they.
It's impressive.
I mean, a lot of them
that's
are
why
like
they do that though. Where it's
composited
tough.
shots though that look like they're
Yeah.
one shots, but like in Guardians of the Galaxy, there's like that fight scene was like a one shot, but obviously
That's
it's
so
not
funny
a one
because
shot.
I understood what you meant because in audio we comp vocals. So that's just taking a bunch of composition and making it one. So I understood what you were talking.
That was your first take, right? Yeah, that's my first
I
take.
go, you did that one shot. Yeah, one shot.
Yeah, one shot.
Why does it say comp 717 times?
That's what we named the first one.
That many takes, huh?
V1.
Yeah.
V1, V50, V300.
But yeah, I think maybe Poor Things was my like
Favorite
movie because it was like enjoyable, entertaining, great directing, acting, the sets. It's almost you should see it just
What's
for
her
the
name
sets.
again?
Emma Stone.
Is she A-list to you?
I think she's up there.
Teeters?
I don't think she has the prestige of like a Jolie, but like I mean, if you think about it, it's like these actors are like, I don't want to bring in like be
Aging
ageist
out,
or something,
yeah.
but they're like,
Agent out.
it's really we just hold them up like that. Like a A-list is like a who we look up, but like she has the chops and stuff, so I don't see why she wouldn't be considered.
What do you call
like,
Marvel
especially
people
after this.
A-listers? Like a Chris Pratt?
Yeah, I think that's like in terms of like, oh, like they're a household name is like,
Okay.
is that why they're A-list is like, so it's like, I don't think it necessarily has to do with like
Okay,
acting because Chris Pratt, it's not a great actor, but like everybody knows his name. I mean, at the
Yeah,
same
no,
time,
you're right.
RDJ,
Great.
everybody knows him, but I think he's a great actor.
He's
You watch him in Oppenheimer. If
Oh,
you can,
he's
if
in
you can sit through,
Oppenheimer?
if you could sit through it, he's like a main
Isn't
character.
was he a
Mark Ruffalo and
Yeah, he's
and
really
he's
good.
good, and-
I think Emma Stone's a bigger name than he is.
yeah, but I just meant that like Ruffalo was Marvel. You
Did
know.
Robert Downey Jr. do like a Juilliard type of schooling or something like that? He seemed like he's a real method actor. I don't know.
I don't think he's method.
Oh, he's not.
That's
Oh,
like
you're right. Not method. No,
There's not many though.
not method. What I meant to say is like a real studied actor. I didn't mean. I don't think he takes on his roles. I just think he's.
You mean just like if they were like born and raised like theater kid?
exactly?
I think he might have just been a theater kid. I don't
That's
think
what
he,
I-
I don't
that's what
think
I
he
mean.
went to
You know, that's what I mean. Was he like
Anyway.
was he like a theater junkie?
theater.
Theater.
Theater kid.
I personally am a huge fan of him as Sherlock Holmes.
I love those.
Those were
movies.
great.
Those were like
You don't like them?
they were okay, but they were like
Oh, the
Oh, I
fight
thought they
scenes?
were so much fun.
especially well the
slow
first one
down
was
fight
fun and
scenes?
it was cool, but the second one was kind of like
Too much.
it's like I feel like when that's the thing with like a lot of these American movies is like the first one it's good, but then they are like, oh, it was a hit, so like the studios are like, let's make a second one, and they want like a 2-year turnaround to make the sequel, so it's like
Is this still American though? If Guy Ritchie was the director of it?
it has like the budget and the push
was
of
Guy
an
Ritchie,
American.
huh?
It's an American
That was
studio
Guy
making
Ritchie. He
it.
did Snatch.
Yeah.
It's an American studio that made it, right?
I don't know.
Or Sherlock 2. I just wanted to say like talk about like the Oscar snubs is because of like the Barbie thing. She wasn't nominated for Best Director, and Margot Robbie wasn't nominated for Best Actress.
Who
but
directed Barbie?
Greta Gerwig.
Oh, okay.
It's because like a lot of like the outrage, like saying it's like the boys club and stuff, and it's not that that's not true, but it's like also it's a lot of the white feminism that's being kind of like if you had this much energy and outrage for like an Oscar nomination, if you had that same thing for like a lot of things that don't affect them, like if you had this much outrage for this movie, but you had the same energy for like Palestine or something like that, like white women have a lot of like power in society,
You don't
and I
say.
think it's emerging now, but it's for very pointed things.
Did a lot of, I'm guessing what I'm getting is that a lot of white women were upset about this.
Yeah, and it's like I think yes, historically women are underappreciated or not acknowledged in film, but it's like
What about
for
Meryl Streep?
for prestige.
Is it Meryl Streep the shit?
Yeah, but you're just bringing up one white woman in like and not a film.
Don't she have like the most awards? Like, if you know, if they are underrepresented.
Well, best actress. You're like looking. I'm like you. That's doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying.
You're right.
Like,
they don't have one that does both of them, like how they do in music, where like it could just be album.
Well, best movie.
Oh, it's not actor. It has to be actress.
I think it is best actor, best actress, best actor in a supporting role. Best actress.
Them.
Yeah, I think it's separated.
Because they do that in music too.
Best female lead in a comedy or something like that.
They do that in music too, but then you could have the joint one as album or record.
Yeah, it's not like, well, there's like best comedy or best whatever, best documentary versus like, best album, best R&B, best rock.
Because
album,
they do have
best country.
Best female, best male, but then they have the best album in general, where you could have whoever.
This is really interesting. I just looked up, who has the most Oscars.
Who is it?
Meryl Streep has the record for most Academy Award nominations.
There you go.
With 21. She won 3 Oscars.
Okay.
Katharine Hepburn is the one. She has the record of actor with most Oscars with 4.
So again, my question stands.
The number 1 record holder is Walt Disney.
Walt?
22
Oh,
Oscars.
Because he's got
everything that falls under Disney.
He's the name.
I guess. Yeah.
Also famous anti-Semitic.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anti-Semite, sorry.
I watched his whole little...
he Frozen.
I watched his whole little startup,
they made that movie.
And he didn't even animate Mickey or Steamboat Willie. It was like Ironworks or whatever the dude's name was.
He there's like his house where he started like Disney, like in his garage, like he animated stuff himself.
No.
But like
I watched
in the beginning,
him and this one specific dude is like Ironworks. I can't remember his, but it was like Ironworks, and they started 3 companies together until Disney was successful.
Yeah, his like he started out in near Atwater Village, I think. Like his original like house or studio or something was there.
No, but he was an animator, but then he had this dude who was the Ironworks guy who was like the shit at animating, who actually animated Steamboat
Willie,
and but they were partnered, but Disney did start the last Disney company, and then the full came a year later.
Well, yeah, like animation's like it's animation, like it's so labor intensive to hand animate.
And this
stuff.
was
it's
in like the height of it. I think they like
like Snow White, like
that's
those
what
like
they had.
Snow White that took like 7 years to make or something like that. Like he helped pioneer a lot of
dope shit,
like great animation techniques and stuff in animated films. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't think being like, I think like you could be a successful person that doesn't have any reflection on how you are as like your ethics or morals or anything. Like there's a lot of successful people that are fucking bad people. I think more often than not, you're probably not a great person if you're, cause like, you devote your whole business to like, or your whole life to business. Like you're kind of probably ignoring personal growth in other areas.
Well, you have to probably.
Yeah. You make sacrifices for everything.
What makes a great person to you?
I'm going to defer to Trey. Like, you go first because, like, it's a loaded question.
I'm curious.
Yeah, a great person to me is...
Just a good person.
A good person, constantly trying to do better than you did yesterday.
In what respects?
All.
How does his goodness, how is it measured?
It would have to be to whoever's looking.
To themselves. How about to yourself? How do you measure your goodness or the goodness of people around you?
Oh, by actions they do, actions I see, about it.
Is it like actions that support and benefit the well-being of others? Actions?
Yeah, don't look over any of them. Include them all.
So you're lifting yourself up as well as others, like acknowledging your own accomplishments, or I don't know, because I guess it's like kind of like a broad question. It seems like, and I know it's intentionally broad,
but it's easy to be bad.
Well, I think it's easy. We've been saying like what we label as a bad person, but like what do we label person? Like what's a good person? Like do you know a good person in your life?
That's why I always try to vouch for these super bad people.
It doesn't really.
It does, because I don't know anyone that is Jesus Christ.
Well, you don't have to like, but good people. Like I think like Rydra,
I know great people that have done bad things.
Great
Exactly. I know
Well, like
great
bad
people that
things,
have
like-
done bad things.
Yep.
And that's how I leave it. I know great people that have done bad things.
I mean, when you say bad things, is it bad things like
To you, bad things to society, bad things to a different person.
All. No, but I'm being honest. Like,
yeah,
all.
actually,
Like, for real, all.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to, I mean, it's very easy to say someone's being bad. It's very hard to be like they're being good.
I think totally. People are more likely to shoot you down, tear you down, because you're more likely probably to tear yourself down. Or
Well,
shoot yourself
regardless,
down.
you only need what my question started with, one bad thing.
To have
could
people
do-
think about you.
You could do, you could do 10
Yeah.
good things and no one could think about you.
I mean, well, that's generally how it is,
But that's what I'm saying. You could do the one bad thing in your household name.
depending on how it is.
Of course.
I
You know
mean,
what it looks like in
course.
terms of the light, and like
Of course.
I think also in terms of the Christian value light.
Oh, but that's why I just say I know great people that have done bad things.
Yeah,
And that's almost every person I know. I've never met I never met Jesus. I never met God. So I've never met anyone that's
Well, I think I would say it's probably like I know people who continue to like do good things, like the great people in my life, despite like whatever mistakes we've made. Like you still try. I guess you could. I don't want to say like you do better every day, but like you try and do better for yourself or others, despite what you've been through or whatever mistakes you made. You try and like even just without, you don't try and seek acknowledgement. Not to say that seeking acknowledgement or validation from other people makes you a bad person, but like you try and do good things for yourself and other people without trying to
Regardless,
seek
yeah.
without trying to seek validation.
I mean, that's what all good people they say do, right? Like the Mother Teresa's, Jesus, they just do good. Or did good.
yeah. I never
Action
know.
wise, you know?
I never
it's
know
hard.
about any of those things that I don't like.
Know
There's so
about.
many things that people be like, they did all these terrible things. I'm like, oh, like I didn't know, or I don't know, or maybe they didn't. Which it comes to, I guess, your thing about measuring stuff out. But I think like it's easier just to look at small, regular day to day people.
Yeah.
I think most regular day to day people
Trying to do good. I feel.
have not like when I think about people doing bad, I think about people like putting themselves in front of another person in a way that's malicious or destructive. Like and like
Yeah, there's not much of that, but it's it could be looked like different.
because
though.
some people do bad stuff and like ignorance was a big part of it depending on age. So like sometimes it's like, okay, you did bad, but you were like, you're just stupid ass, youth. And like a lot of it comes into play too. Like, is the person passing the judgment, do they have the same mind as the person that's being judged? Like, are they at the same level? Is the person seeing things
normally
like
not.
that? Yeah, it's like, man,
tough.
it's tough. Yeah, especially in society, because society doesn't have space really for people that mess up
At all.
until they mess up.
And even if
There
you
are
messed
things though I think we can say that are like
are redeemable, yes.
yeah.
There
Yeah,
are.
there's certain things that are redeemable and there's some things you're like, damn dude.
Like a Michael Vick should have been redeemable, but wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
Colin Kaepernick.
I was actually
Even
gonna say
that.
Kaepernick.
He didn't
do
I was
any- he didn't
actually
do
gonna say
anything bad.
That's
Kaepernick.
He didn't do
Yeah.
anything bad.
Yeah, at all.
That's a good one because he didn't do anything bad.
Yeah. At all. And he was good.
And
It
he
wasn't
was
like
good.
he was Tristan Thompson,
Well, at
man.
least say he was good enough to be in the league.
Yeah. You can't have him be your second or third.
No, he was proven good enough to be in the league, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so what he did, while looked at as socially good, some people looked at was terrible.
Would you think it's socially good? Yeah, I'm going to use this as a segue. Do you think it's socially good to kind of what raise the retirement age to 70? How Nikki Haley was suggesting?
I was like wondering which one you're going to segue to. Oh,
That one.
I think that's insanity. Like,
You think so?
what is it right now?
Well, it's 67, I believe.
You can start getting
Social Security.
you have to be 62 to start getting Social Security. And the average person
Doesn't
currently thinks that
until
they expect
66?
66.
Exactly.
So it's only 4, and benefits of Social Security max out at 70. So if you
Max out or like it stops?
No, you get your biggest
you
amount.
get your biggest amount at 70.
So it
it
stays
doesn't
at that,
continuously go any bit higher than 70. So technically 70 right now already is the age in which if you work to that point, you will get the largest amount.
My question is, why do we got to work so hard and long?
Well, I thought that was interesting
enough
because
money?
it's like the actual median life expectancy in America is like actually going down for the first time in a long time, and they
Wonder
want
why.
us to like keep working more.
So like to break it down a bit, she's talking about people that are currently in their 20s, so nobody else. So this wouldn't be affecting anybody else. 30, 40, 50, 60 people
That's
are
what they
young.
say.
Yeah, but it would totally be affecting us. I think for sure.
I mean,
How could
because
it
like,
not?
well, like if
I
you
really,
look-
I really don't think so, because the way that Social Security works is depending on how many people are engaging in Social Security and putting money into it right then. So we're already, you're technically 22 years away from being able to pull Social Security out, almost like 23 years away. The amount of people in our workforce are decided a much more level of decisive people in the workforce putting money in, where the people in their 20s is not that. So I kind of understand to the degree it's
Wait. I thought they take out Social Security regardless if you have a job.
huh?
no, like
If you have a job,
yeah, they're
SSI
taking
is taking out
Yeah,
your
but if you
check.
don't have a job, you're not putting money into it.
Yeah, I get it, but everyone who has a job has been putting money.
But they're
into
saying
it,
that people in the but people in their younger years right now don't have jobs as people did. They're putting less in. So the whole thing is like, if you like consistently, Social Security keeps on going down. Mm-hmm. So, and the fact that it keeps on going down, and about
you made it a long time.
I know.
so there's 15 million adults right now where Social Security pushes them over the poverty line. 69 million Americans right now receive
What's
benefits.
poverty line?
10,000? 15,000. Might be 15.
Regardless, very low.
Yeah. But like what her point is like, if you don't raise it, then by the time those people get there anyway, they're going to not have Social Security to pull on.
Well, the whole thing too is like specifically like with Nikki Haley and like the GOP, they want to like gut Social Security benefits anyway. So that part affects us, I think. Like 20 and up, yeah, for sure. Like I think we're going to be feeling, and we already feel the effects of like gutting social programs. Like
Who created the 40-hour work week?
It was what's his name?
Idiot.
The dude that Ford guy.
Idiot.
Well, we didn't have hours.
no, like it
before then.
was yeah, we didn't
We
have
had like 10-hour days, 15-hour days before.
yeah,
then.
it was unions who fought for the 40-hour work week, that like because people were working, I think 10 and 12-hour days were a regular thing, and it was like unions that fought for a 40-hour work week.
The poverty line in California is just under 40,000
Damn.
for a family of 2 adults and 2 children.
Oh, okay. But still, I thought that was like for a person, because I was like, I feel like that's most of
That'd be like
California that's
basically all
making
California.
45.
No.
I
So
guess that's the 4-person household then, right?
Yeah.
40,000.
40,000 per.
That's low.
You
can't. So-
Yeah.
That's why when they say numbers like this, I'm like, that makes no sense though, because then everyone will be homeless.
But like, okay, so to kind of break it down, like average Social Security retirement benefits are about $1,782 per month, $21,300 a year. We rank 29th in the world for Social Security benefits. So it's not like we're doing
Why are we so low?
because no
We
one
wanna pay
really
less,
wants,
we
because
wanna pay
we've
less
moved
taxes and stuff.
we want to pay less taxes, and we've moved to a much more investment based future society. So we put our money in 401ks, which are all investment based, which is all, back to the Bernie Madoff thing. It's all dependent on if you don't get screwed or if the market doesn't dive, or like, and it doesn't have to be just,
Yeah, that's true.
it doesn't have to just be 401ks. It can be land. It can be, the
No, I
housing.
get all that, but like
you
the
know.
Bernie thing, you know, when you invest, it's a gamble.
Yeah, but
It's like going to a casino and losing your ass and then crying at the casino.
But Bernie wasn't the same thing.
I understand that, but
Like-
any type of investing is gambling with your money. They tell you that when you invest it. You could lose it all.
Yeah, but
Now, you're coming to me because I have a track record.
No, he defrauded people. That's fraud. It's a bit different than you just saying that the market lost money.
Yeah, and
You're right.
That's completely different, dude.
yeah, because like investment
right.
funds, it's like it's slow, steady growth.
Yeah.
Like, and then but like you get the rug pulled out from under you. So, yeah, it is investing but like you don't expect to lose it because somebody was like like it's like the whole pyramid scheme thing. It's like people were expecting like slow, steady growth, whereas like the people at the top were like, oh, we are high risk but high yield returns.
Any investing it's a risk.
Yeah, it's a totally risk.
That's why they tell you that.
But like, I think, I actually think Nikki Haley's onto something. I don't think it's a problem with upping the retirement. I think the bigger question is, why are we trying to base so many people's lives and futures off of investments? So the bigger question should be like, if some people are upset with this, well, then we should be directing more of if you really care, then direct more of your taxes to Social Security. But people aren't going to want to do that. So what she's saying is, okay, like,
I don't think that people would have a problem with that, though, if we or our government had a track record of putting tax money actually where they're saying it's going.
But you have to ask, like, if we really want that, like, people would actually have to care about who they're putting into office and what bills they're writing
facts.
and stuff like
I
that.
understand.
Well, then we're going to come back to
Yeah.
like a two-party system and everything because both parties
100%
want to
doesn't
invest heavily in. They want to increase
War.
military spending, like we have arguably the number one military in the world, but it's like at the what cost of
Us.
social benefits and the people, like because
Why do we have
like
to have the best
imperial-
military? Why can't we just work to 50 then?
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure that
mean,
money would be there then.
I think
Where's the government or where's the military getting money from?
Well, because that would say like people like Cornel West, because like there's this thing like people are saying they still have the belief. Like I was talking about it with Nufo a little bit ago. Was like people have the belief of if you're voting for somebody other than the two main candidates of like
It's a
Joe Biden and
throwaway.
Trump, if
It's
you're
a
throwing away your
lose.
vote. But it's like it's that exact mentality that limits the effectiveness of that. It's like self-defeating. It's like if you didn't
But it is a throwaway until it gets to a bigger number, though. We can't
it's-
admit that, though, right?
Well, no, it's that exact mentality where, like, if so many people didn't have that belief that if you're throwing away your vote, like these would be serious candidates in other countries, like this non-two-party system, it works. It's like obviously the person in power will always have detractors and people who are critiquing the way they're doing, like they're treating the economy, but because it has to be only these two people, like you are limiting yourself to it's a perpetuating system. Like that belief makes the two-party system possible. Obviously, like you don't like either candidate, but if you believe like, oh, I can't vote for Cornel West because it's throwing away my vote, it's exactly that reason that limits the possibility of having another party be a serious contender for presidential office.
I don't know if I feel that way.
Just to touch one more piece. So right now, the Social Security full retirement age where you get full benefits is 67 in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So she's only adding 2 years and 10 months.
I hear you. I think
So
that anything we should do should be decreasing. Though.
No,
So
I-
anyone adding anything, I'm not for it. I'm not with them.
I hear that, but I think people are making a huge deal out of this and not actually looking at the reality that like you won't be able to exist off Social Security
But
anyway.
what changes it in 20 years from the next person that comes up and saying, "Hey, we got to bump it up to 80."
But and
Then
again,
now we got to bump it up to 95.
But again, if you're one of these people that's hoping that Social Security is going to be the thing for you,
I know it's going to be gone, so that's why I'm saying I could care less what these people say.
But-
Decrease it.
but you won't have money. You can retire
We're
whenever
not going
you
to have money.
you
for
can
Social Security
you can retire
regardless.
whenever you want.
Facts.
But if you want an actual to be able to have this money be there currently under the way that we do it, and to have it consistently get your regular payments out and to have the highest level of payments out, even right now,
Shouldn't you just be able to
it's
pull
70.
out whatever you put in? Wouldn't that just
but you already can. This is extra. This is a greater benefit. The Social Security, it rises with inflation, and they put 8% on top of whatever you're putting in.
Because they're investing the money, right? So they are taking the money you give them and investing it and making a profit off of it, right?
But you just said, like, can you take your money out? Yeah, you can always take your money out.
But at a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and not after 62. Well,
it's a penalty. Why can't I just get my Social Security right now that I've already put into it without having a penalty? Why can't I just stop working at 45?
It's just like banks. You can't take all your money out.
Well, you can't take out Social Security because it's not like a tangible fund that it's going into. Yeah, it's not
if
liquid.
You put it in there. I've had a job since I was 16. If I put money into something since I was 16, why can't I just pull it out when I want to?
You can't do that at the bank. If everyone went to the bank right now and tried to pull money out, every bank would fail.
I understand that.
So then,
but you can go to the bank and pull out your money.
Yeah, you can't pull out Social Security benefits.
You can go to the bank and pull out the money that you've put in there.
Okay, but you
cannot do that with Social Security without being taxed heavily.
No, you're thinking 401. You can't take the money.
Yeah, no, you like Social Security. You cannot take that out. It's like a system, but like with
you can't take it out.
Like you're gonna get the money.
You can take out the money that you put into a bank.
I guess you don't have to sign the contract of working in the United States. It was your choice to work here and put the money away.
Sign a contract.
You signed your contract. You could have left whenever you wanted to.
You're absolutely right. But all I'm saying is, it's funny that we can put money into a system, and then they just keep raising the age of the system for you to be able to pull out money that you've put into it.
You can pull it out earlier.
But you have a penalty, though, right?
You don't get as much as you would.
There's a penalty.
No, it's not even having to do with pulling out money. It's like just the benefits are
less.
Yeah, they're less. They're decreasing, and just because like Social Security is getting it wants to be gutted it
is going to be gutted.
Yeah, it is.
But that's my point. Then why would you be waiting for Social Security? Why are you making any?
I don't think any of us are waiting for Social Security, right?
But then what's your statement on so why does it bother you? If you're not waiting for it, if you're going to retire,
you shouldn't raise the. We're already not going to get it. So anything that I read a headline saying, "Hey, let's raise the age," is like we're already not going to get.
Well, I think it's more like we're getting less and less of a safety net, as we get older, because of inflation. Like we are all moving, we all have 401ks, but it's like we're having less of the social safety net.
Right.
Like the social safety net barely exists for people who are.
Well,
it's
15 million people out of the 69 million people that really need this because they're moving over the poverty line. So if you're going to be one of those 15 million people that matters, it sounds to me, though, that you're planning not to be that because you put money into other areas.
Of course.
The whole thing, like we're saying, her moving at the age of retirement to 70 is not saying you can't retire before then. It's not saying you can't take the money out before then. It's saying that you won't get max benefits unless you stay till 70. So,
I get that.
I mean,
why can't you get your max benefits from day zero?
But why do people get upset with this and not like healthcare?
I think people do get upset.
I think I think it's just the latest issue of we have less of it's just the government that we're funding is not taking care of us.
Healthcare has been privatized in America for however long, and I think people have a real issue with that, especially people that are sick. They're the ones who are suffering from it.
Yeah, but we're not. I'm just saying that no one's out there trying to actually make a huge. I just think it's weird that people really care about this much, making a stink about raising the age to 70 when they really don't actually care.
I mean, I think they do care. I think it is the people who are not actually affected by it, but they also can see that they don't want their kids or their grandkids to have to deal with these lessening amounts of their benefits, because even though
but those are the same people that vote in Trump or Biden, so really they must not care that much about their kids.
Well, they only care about what's affecting them at the moment for monetary gains.
I mean, I just think it just seems to me so short-sighted. We pretend we care about. I sound like Trey. We pretend we care about one thing. Really,
that is what we do. That is legitimately what human beings do. They pretend they care about something wholeheartedly until something else comes up, and that takes full attention.
Well, I mean, because it's what you're saying right now. You're saying we should do this, we should do that, but you're saying, I mean, you don't even vote, but then you're saying even if you don't vote, you're voting for a third party is throwing your vote away. It's you're saying you care about these things, but you're not doing. There's no tangible action of you. Even if it is a least amount is a vote. you're not like there's no other like other like sort of community service or service for the government, but it's like yeah, it should be that way. But if
because I look at it as like I'm doing a life sentence in Pelican Bay where I have no parole, but yet I'm trying to get parole. I'm staying in the like what you're doing. You're staying in the lawyer's office. You're reading the books. You're trying to bail out, get parole, but it's never gonna come. I'm just doing my life sentence. We're both doing a life sentence.
But you're just resigned to like this is how it is. I guess that's just how it is.
We're both doing the life sentence.
You've resigned yourself to it. Like you want change, but you're not gonna like do any sort of action
I could
or like
go
you're
out
trying
there
to
and try and try and try.
No, but you're resigned. You're not gonna do anything about it, right? Exactly. Like you're kind of saying like you're living out the accusation. People pretend they care about something, but they don't want to do anything about it. Like that's exactly what you're doing.
No, I'm more. I can't change him, so I'm hopping on with him.
Well, you're not hopping on. Like you're upholding the status quo. You're not doing it. You don't want to. You want to change. You say you want to change it, but you're not doing anything to actually change the status quo because that is the status quo of like everything that is.
No, you're right.
I've never seen Pelican Bay. Sorry, you just said it, and I had to look it up. I didn't know it was in California. It's just
Supermax.
It's just surrounded by trees.
Supermax.
What's the one in New York?
Rikers.
And
that's on an
an island. Yeah.
That's like Guantanamo.
But that's not like
Guantanamo.
That
the
is
one in
that
San
is-
Francisco.
That's a jail or is that a prison?
They're
Rikers
all
Island.
State prisons.
They're all state prisons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do they call them state? Is that
Because federal.
No,
is
federal is if you're going penitentiary and prison is the same thing.
County
it's like
and jail
It's
is
when you
different.
get a federal thing and you go serve because jail, like county, is jail.
Exactly.
which
It's
one's
like you-
privatized?
federal.
Federal because like a county is
state?
like while your case
They
is still
can be.
being your case is still being
They can be.
in process. Your case is still being processed. You're in jail in county and stuff.
I know
which
that.
you can be
Yeah.
there for years, but generally you're there for like a couple of years or less. Whereas you're serving out sentences in prisons, whether they're private or
A rapper
state.
just came out of Pelican Bay, Hispanic rapper from LA. And he's got a lot of buzz, and it's kind of messed up because he's literally just doing mad interviews, like high as hell, but it's entertaining.
Who was that?
Lefty gunplay because he can't get right. Yeah,
Wait.
Lefty gunplay.
Because he can't get right.
That's not his full name is Lefty Gunplay, but he got named
His government name is Lefty.
Gunplay because
Last
his
name
homie said
Gunplay.
he can't get right. He's like, his mom even said like he was super ADD, but she never put on medication. So this dude's like literally like going through all these motions live, dude, and he's just tweaking, but everyone's so fixated on him right now.
Well, it's like what we were saying about like Kanye.
like
It's like,
surreal.
you know that they have problems and issues and stuff, but you're like putting them on a pedestal because you're just entertained. You want to see what they do.
Well, this dude is making waves. He just got out of Rikers 30 days ago. That's why he's kind of getting like he just got out of, and he did 2 years in the shoe straight.
shoe,
Bro.
dang. You're not going to be right after you do 30 days in the shoe.
That's why, and it's like I feel like it's kind of messed up, but at the same time, he is making money. So I mean, he is putting himself out there, but he's literally high as hell in these interviews, just like.
Well, yeah, because it's like you want to dissociate, like being like because you're just fresh out that
he
thing.
did like 5 years in the shoe because he did. I think he did Pelican and Rikers or something like.
What are you talking about? The shoe, like
Solitary confinement for 23 hours a day for 2 years straight.
because it's like I don't think like you're getting 5 years and you're being let out. You're like you're in there. You're like life sentence.
He
if you're
did, like I
getting-
said,
if
he
you're doing
did
5
like
years.
2 years straight shoe, I think, in Rikers, and then he was doing shoe at somewhere else for a minute. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Like we are just very, very entertained by demise, and I'm no different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just like.
I don't like
we've
demise.
we've
I'm not
resigned
entertained by
ourselves
it.
to like
You're not.
this is
No, it actually really bothers me. I usually have pretty visceral responses to watching other people's like.
yeah. I don't really like my
You never
my
like the movie
content.
Blow?
There's multiple times where like I feel like shitty because
You ever
of-
watch it?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I mean the content I
Training
consume
Day?
isn't really like it's
You ever
not
watch
like
Same.
predicated on like
Even when you
It's
get
much
to,
more
even when you have,
Well,
when
that's what I
you,
mean at the end. Yeah.
even no, but not even that. Even when he has him,
Ethan in the car.
yeah, when you get wet in the car, dude, I was like, ugh, like it just makes me feel. But like, I'm also old enough for both those things at the time to differentiate between a movie and real life. But when in real life scenarios, you watching people, I'm like,
Same thing.
this like it.
yeah,
terrible.
I've
I don't-
aged out of World Star. I don't really watch like
Well, that's
not
like,
not to
bum
like
fights, all that stuff. That's not
well,
it.
well, but it's like it's in the same vein. You're like
It
you're
is.
getting
That's
entertainment
what-
out of somebody else's like dilemma. Like I'm not like
But how far is boxing
criticizing
or MMA from that?
I don't like MMA.
I know you always say that.
I really don't like MMA.
That's why I asked you because I know Neil may be watching. You've
yeah,
seen
I
some
don't
fights.
like yeah. I mean, but like that's not their that's not like yeah. It's physical like. I don't want to sound like you like that's what they signed up for, but like
someone's demise.
that's their professional like that's how they make a living. These people like I'm just saying like off of like candid like
But what makes
people
it
taking
different,
videos
though?
is like the people who like on a YouTube video that's like getting beat up or like they're getting like pressed by the cops or whatever thing, like they're not making money. They're you're seeing like a real life like event that's going to impact them for a long time, if not for the rest of their life, and they're not getting money. They're getting like
so
if anything
it's okay
infamy.
to consume demise if there's monetary compensation for people in play, right?
Like that's their if that's their job is like we're saying by like MMA, like that's their job. They want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They're making money. Like I'm not a fan of it, but like that's
I still think it's wrong.
I know because I was just going to
Yeah.
bring it back to the streamers.
Well, I mean, not even that. I just think like people
the
forget.
IRL?
I just think people really forget and I don't understand. Like people will talk about karma, but then they don't think about like collective karma, which is karma. That's actually karma is collective, not singular. Like, there's no way to me that the long run of MMA is healthy. I just don't see how in the long term effect, like, but at the same time, have we always had that
some
stuff?
kind of
Yeah. So, whatever. And we've also been always
Kind of
warring people. So, like, I just, maybe that's just
Is
being
what it
human
is.
requires you to have that. But, like, yeah, people, even though it's like, oh, well, they sign up for it. I'm like, yeah, but people want to see another person get knocked out. And, like, you're tapping into, like, that, like, I'm not saying that if you want to see someone get knocked out, that means that you are a bad
crazy,
person,
yeah.
but you are tapping into that, like,
visceral.
that aggression within you. There's some people that can handle it. There's a lot of people that can't handle it. But like it becomes extremely blurred when you have on TV. And like the thing with boxing is like I will say this is confusing because I kind of do enjoy boxing, but only because for some reason I
feel like the rules
I appreciate the rules
Yeah.
and the etiquette of it where like
There is in MMA,
there is, but like, dude, they always break.
but
those.
to a martial artist, they're like, we have the same etiquette
except
as
when
boxers.
when you watch like MMA martial arts or then like karate, like
It's different.
it's so different. And like
well,
people,
because you don't have like a jiu-jitsu guy going against a jiu-jitsu guy. You got
Yeah.
a striker going against a
Well, because
grappler.
it's ostensibly it is for, but like I mean I think it is like a big. It's just like it's WME has like it's publicized and it's an act. It's a big bit that they put on before. Like you see at the end, like after the fight, like they're cool for the most part.
for the most
like,
part, even if
yeah.
they got roughed up.
Yeah,
kinda
like they're
"We just made a
like
bag,
they're like
bro."
yeah, it's like
was
it
for
is
sure with the
it's
bag.
all
Just
it's
made a
all to
bag.
build up the show and stuff. And so
Yeah.
I mean like it is different versus where like I guess what is
I
it
can
like
say no because then
Muay
Conor,
Thai
that was
and stuff
Conor
like-
McGregor is like he was that change.
well, he
for the
wanted
MMA.
to make
He
it more
was-
entertainment based rather than a sport. He wants it entertainment. Like
and he
I know we're like out of time, kind of, but I do want to say just real quick because we're talking about sports and entertainment and changing the face of sports. I'm throwing it out there that the Clippers are trying to change the face of basketball entertainment by making the Wall the first
That
ever
is
of
a
its
little
kind.
different.
It really kind of takes from like a soccer or like how
How's it
college
work,
sports
though?
too. Like yeah,
How does it work though?
It's only fans. Only fans can sit there. You can't.
Fans.
How do we classify?
You can't wear any other colors.
Okay.
You can't wear other teams.
Any team, nothing like that. Like, and it's like not even like any.
Anyone could buy the ticket, but you have a strict dress code to attend by if you want to sit in this section.
I think and I think if you get caught cheering the other team, they kick you out.
Got you.
Or people around you can get you kicked out. I think it's kind of like how and that's like a. Have you ever seen the European ball, like basketball? How crazy it is there. I feel like this is like a first initial step to try to make a different type of entertainment that the NBA hasn't seen yet from its fans.
Well, we had and one, and that took off, but then tanked.
Yeah.
Street ball was the shit.
Oh, it was actually, yeah.
But I don't think like people never thought it would have like any sort of thing could like appeal to like
never
mainstream.
to like a league or anything, but
Yeah.
it was the shit. For,
Yeah.
like fucking what? Scary Movie. They even cameoed it.
Oh, yeah.
Like street ball was the shit when we were kids. It's gone now though.
Yeah, it was like a gimmick. Like there's still street ball,
Kinda
obviously,
was.
but
It
it's
was
like,
a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick.
It was a
Yeah.
gimmick.
I think that's also sometimes what it feels like with the MMA things in terms of who is their face.
It's always switching.
It's sometimes, it feels a little bit gimmicky on how it just matches the MMA that year. Like, does it work for what they're trying to push? Because, like, Connor was the guy. Nobody else.
Before that, Bones Jones.
And then now, like, I don't actually know. I couldn't tell you. Like,
Now,
who's the dude?
Patty.
Oh, Patty. Man, he's just so funny, though.
He's kind of funny.
God damn, he's so
Patty,
funny.
But that's like,
He is entertaining, though. He is.
and you cannot take away the fact that he is a trained martial artist.
Yeah. But I also just love, like, he's a little bit different in the sense with, like, he's, like, funnier than McGregor. Talking about smashing pizza
But
and stuff.
Connor walked so Patty could.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
Or
funny,
crawled
like
so
you
Patty could walk.
see like the rise of MMA and how it got popular, and you see people like that you grew up with. Like I remember,
Daniel Cormier.
well, no, like people you grew up with, like in your hometown, they were like, "Oh, I want to be in MMA now." And like
yeah.
I start training. It's like,
You're like, what?
is it because you can't do a different job, so you want to do? Is this really your passion?
That's
It's like,
kind of crazy. Like I would never just subject myself to getting beat up.
yeah, you're 30 and you want to be an MMA artist. Like, okay.
I just remember when we were younger seeing people randomly with cauliflower ear and be like,
Oh, so you a
oh,
fighter?
so you fight, bro? Where do you fight?
You train?
Or you were a wrestler in
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
school or
Or
something.
you
I
got
mean, they-
boxed. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Cauliflower, yeah, box, yeah.
You get boxed out for dude. Some of the wrestling, I didn't realize, like, they do get kind of wild. Sometimes I get sucked into those
Hell
videos,
yeah,
man.
Wrestling is a real.
They get
it's an
like-
Olympic sport.
Yeah,
Like you're talking about like Greco-Roman wrestling. kind of
yeah,
thing?
dude. Like
Kurt Angle wrestling.
Yeah, like wrestling. Like, dude. There's sometimes I'm like, yo, that dude just got
They legit suplex people.
yeah, just dropped. There was like a video that was like last year. Some dude dropped another kid, and they went to handshake, and the kid just socked the other dude in the face.
Oh,
And, like,
yeah, I
people
saw that.
losing their chill and stuff.
Or like the parents will like knock out the ref or something like that. They'll come after.
That's
Diddy.
soccer parents right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Diddy. Just
That's
Diddy.
any parent, I feel like, that cares.
Or I think they're projecting some stuff like that's like a win at all costs. Like, yeah,
Sometimes
that's a little much.
Sometimes, sometimes, but sometimes.
I mean,
it's
everybody
not
has
that much.
passion, but it's like
I would
not
never
a-
want to be one of those parents.
I'm not a
But I
trophy
would
for
wanna-
everybody parent.
I would want to be
No.
so hyped for my kid and like really like be
When they
behind
lose?
them. No.
Oh,
But like
okay.
be behind them and stuff like that. So you want to push and like so if like a coach doesn't put your kid in and you know he's better than the one putting in, it has to be really tough. At the same time, I don't want to be one of those parents. It's like, yo,
don't
fucking
wanna-
coach, what are you doing, bro? My God.
But what do you do when your kid's giving its all and you just trash? Like beyond
You
trash.
slowly slide other opportunities into their way. Like, hey, I saw that you also like painting,
But they
or
only want to do that and then beyond trash.
I mean, is there any stories like that where someone was terrible
No.
and then they did it?
I mean,
You
if
gotta
it's
show
like
promise.
You have to have
it's
some
a
skill,
sport, you
right?
kind of like you can only go so far. Like
Gotta have some promise.
Yeah.
like if you make it into like a college sport, you're
Yeah.
talented.
Oh
Yeah.
If you would do
You have
an
some-
athlete, you fucking talented.
Yeah, because like you either have like
Or money.
natural talent,
If you're
or
playing.
or you've trained hard enough to where you're actually good, or you like
It
the
doesn't
parent
matter
pays
if
off.
you're in it, but
No,
you're playing.
high school, I would say you could be on the team and play if your parents have money.
Even well, okay, but you can be on the team.
You
You'll be on the team, but you won't play.
But you won't
You
play.
ain't
no,
playing.
no, definitely not.
That's for Demarius.
yeah. Your name's Todd, bro. You don't got the
No, my boss always makes fun of the owner's son. He's like, because he played for Modern Day.
Oh, okay.
Exactly, but he ain't played for Modern
Modern
Day.
Day. Yeah.
Just got on there.
He was.
I think say Modern Day is like
Daddy was a booster.
Daddy,
Your
that's
dad
it.
has a bench named after him. They gave a lot of money in 2013.
I was like, his son played Modern Day. He's like, no, he was on the.
He was on the team. Yeah. Well, we can end it there.
All right. That was good.
That's good.
Yeah, we went off on the McMahon subject. That was pretty good. I didn't mind.
Trey, stop getting me angry, bro.
Yeah, now
Just
make it make sense, bro.
I passed my torch.
It does
Make it make sense.
It does.
I want you to bring something next time that you really are passionate about.
I could do that.
Because then I'll be like, okay, I can see him. He wants to actually change the world with this, not a Vince McMahon.
Don't die on a hill for a stranger.
But that's why you get mad, because you know I don't care.
That's probably
that's
why.
it. Because I'm like, bro, like you're trying to make a point on something that you don't care about at all.
Most of this is you're defending these besides Tate, you're defending these white men that will never know about you and don't care about you.
I said Kobe. I said
This
Tiger.
episode, but other ones.
I can find them. They're here. I said P Diddy. I said Usher.
Whoa,
Yeah, you have not
Wait,
defended
Usher?
Diddy. That's for sure.
I didn't defend
When
Diddy.
did you
I
have
didn't
to-
defend Diddy.
When did you have to defend Usher?
Yeah, you never defended Usher neither.
I did.
I remember.
That was a joke. Let it burn.
Well, no, I remember.
Okay,
I
I was
was
like-
Let it burn.
I remember in the thing, I was defending Usher. It was
were,
the Usher
yeah.
versus Chris Brown thing. I was defending Usher.
know.
He
Oh, that was
my
for
guy.
hits, though.
That was for
That's
hits.
completely
That's
different.
completely different.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. I don't really care about this, man.
On the Usher to Chris Brown thing, I think you trust Usher more than Chris Brown on an outing, a night, inviting people out. I feel like I'd be like, I feel more safe that Usher ain't gonna wild out.
But I feel like I want a Chris Brown night.
Can you even handle a Chris Brown night, bro? I think you've aged out of Chris Brown. I think you're more
I
of
feel like
Usher
I need
now.
to do 3 spins and moonwalk.
You know, when we came out of Sam's,
that was a Chris Brown night.
that was a moment, but Chris Brown would have been, he would have got you socked. Chris
Chris Brown would have
would've-
got me. He would have been dancing like, come on.
What's up with your
that
shoes?
chain? Let me see that chain.
It's mine. Slap.
Like singing the Wrigley song.
Yeah, you would have been like, that's trash. Dance over to him,
That's
spit,
what I'm saying.
dance away.
Yeah.
Chris would have got me fucked up.
You know, see? Usher wouldn't
have got
he
me
wouldn't
fucked
do
up.
that to you.
You're right.
Yeah, you want to be a Chris Brown, but you're an Usher.
Just deal with
We
it.
all want the best.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I guess you want to.
All right.
us out?
Well, thank you, everybody. Shout out again to all our Aquarius and I don't know whatever the sign is before that. You got Tay, Casey, and Casey. Got Michelle,
Mojo.
Millicent, Alyssa. Who else we got?
I feel like there's probably more that
Shout out
Rye Dry.
Lauren.
Rye
Shout
Dry.
Rye Dry.
Andrew.
And I think that's it.
For
I would
now.
love to see Rye Dry watch this
Oh
on
shit, Casey. Oh, you
We
said
say Casey.
I said both cases.
I would love Rye Dry to watch this one just about the part we talk about being a parent. And he'd be like, you guys don't know shit about
At all.
shit.
I was just saying he's yeah.
At all. Especially because he has like a teenager.
Yeah. And they
Yeah,
all
that's
have
crazy.
toys now.
They all have systems.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Like they people. All right.
They're people.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. You can catch us on all the socials at Almost Never Pod on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Apple, Spotify. Thank you, everybody, for your likes, your comments, your subscripciones. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one. Later.
Thank you.